Welcome to Tales in the Dark. I know many of you enjoy relaxing with these videos, so I recommend turning down the volume until my voice is barely audible. It'll make the experience even more soothing. Before you close your eyes, let me know in the comments where you're listening from. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you and enjoy listening. Story 1. In the tranquil hush of a rainy night, I sat nestled in my cozy nook, pen in hand, ready to weave my thoughts onto the welcoming pages of my journal. The soft drumming of raindrops on the window pane created a soothing symphony, a backdrop to my nightly ritual. As I delved into the depths of introspection, a peculiar occurrence unfolded before my very eyes. The ink, once vividly etched onto the paper, began to fade away like whispers carried off by the wind. A subtle chill danced down my spine, mingling with the comforting sense of paper and coffee that enveloped me. The musty fragrance of antiquity seeped into the air, casting a spell of intrigue over the room. With a sense of curiosity rather than fear, I observed as each word dissolved into oblivion, leaving behind pristine, untouched pages. It was as though the very essence of my musings was being gently erased, disappearing into the mysterious unknown. The rain outside continued its gentle cadence, a lulling rhythm that seemed to harmonize with the enigmatic events unfolding before me. Running my fingers over the now blank pages, I felt a sense of familiarity in the texture, unchanged despite the vanishing ink. The flickering glow of my desk lamp cast soft shadows across the weathered leather binding of my journal, a faithful companion through countless contemplative nights. Intrigued by the inexplicable phenomenon, I tentatively picked up my pen once more. As I inscribed a simple question, "Who are you?" onto the paper, a profound stillness settled in the room. The words lingered for a fleeting moment before dissolving, only to be replaced by a mysterious response in an unfamiliar script. "I am the keeper of unspoken thoughts," the elegant letters spelled out, their sepia hue a stark contrast to my usual blue ink. A sense of otherworldly presence began to permeate the space, expanding the boundaries of my familiar surroundings. The shelves of books seemed to stretch further into the shadows, and the outside world faded into a distant memory. Engulfed in this surreal exchange, I continued to write and watch as the invisible correspondent shared fragments of untold tales from bygone eras. Whispers of secrets, promises unkept, and dreams left unfulfilled unfolded before me, painting a tapestry of forgotten narratives. As the night waned and the first light of dawn kissed the horizon, a subtle shift in the atmosphere signaled the conclusion of our mysterious dialogue. With a final question, "Will you return?" I awaited the response, each letter forming with deliberate grace. "I am always in the spaces between written words," the enigmatic reply materialized, a whisper of promise lingering in the air. And so, with the dawn's arrival, the musty scent dissipated, and the weight of the unknown lifted. Since that fateful night, I have learned to cherish the silence between my words, to embrace the whispers of untold stories that linger in the unseen spaces. The memory of that mysterious encounter remains not as a puzzle to be solved, but as a gentle reminder of the profound magic inherent in the act of writing. Now, as I fill the pages of my journal, I leave deliberate pauses between my words, inviting the echoes of forgotten tales to surface. The essence of that mystical night lives on, shaping my perception of writing as a gateway to realms unseen, where the dance of ink and paper unveils endless possibilities. In the quiet moments of a rainy evening, I find solace in the gentle silence, where the mysteries of the past interlace with the whispers of the present, creating a tapestry of stories waiting to be discovered. Story 2. In the hush of my living room, deep into the night, a delicate piano melody gently unfurled, filling the air with its presence, though no soul graced the keys. The notes meandered through the dimness, reverberating off the walls and mingling with the fragrance of aged books and forgotten dust. I found myself captivated, a blend of fascination and unease washing over me as the tune, seemingly born of nothingness, wrapped around me like a cloak of shadows. Moonbeams, soft and silvery, filtered through the curtains, bestowing a mystical glow upon the piano's glossy veneer. With each key pressed in a seamless succession, a haunting nocturne unfolded, its essence unfamiliar yet deeply stirring. The melody, simple yet laden with profound emotion, carried a palpable longing that stirred my very core. Nestled in my armchair, cocooned in the warmth of my grandmother's treasured quilt, I surrendered to the enigmatic music that enveloped me. Beneath me, the wooden floor exuded its customary warmth, while the steady cadence of the grandfather clock in the corner provided a rhythmic undercurrent to the ethereal composition. As the music persisted, subtle shifts in the room's ambiance became apparent. The air grew cooler, bearing a faint hint of lavender, my grandmother's beloved scent. The flames in the fireplace flickered languidly, as if enchanted by the melody weaving through the air. Each note lingered, elongating time into a fluid, dreamlike state, rendering the boundaries of reality indistinct. I succumbed to the urge to close my eyes, eager to etch every detail of this extraordinary moment into my memory. The piano's resonance possessed an ethereal quality, akin to raindrops cascading into a tranquil pond, each note sending ripples that melded seamlessly with the next. Beneath the primary melody, whispers of other tunes lingered, fragments of melodies that teased familiarity, yet remained elusive. Upon reopening my eyes, I beheld the moonlight casting new shadows, illuminating previously unnoticed details. The subtle sway of the sheet music stand, the precise movement of the pedals, the faint creak of the piano bench bereft of a sitter. Memories stirred within me. Recollections of summer evenings spent listening to my grandmother's melodic strains on this very piano, her fingers dancing across the keys as she imparted simple tunes to me. I recalled the way she'd close her eyes, lost in the music, transported to realms unknown. Seemingly attuned to my thoughts, the mysterious pianist altered the melody, interweaving fragments of the lullaby my grandmother would play for me. Joy and sorrow harmonized in the haunting strains, evoking a potent mix of emotions. The room's temperature continued its subtle flux, enveloping me in pockets of warmth reminiscent of long-ago embraces. Shadows danced in time with the music on the walls, and phantom hands seemed to glide over the keys, disappearing whenever I sought to focus on them directly. Time became a nebulous concept, hours melting into moments, as the melody gradually decelerated, each note deliberate, each sound a whisper, fading into the night. A gentle zephyr brushed against my cheek, carrying the familiar lavender scent, now mingled with the earthy perfume of aged wood and piano polish. As the final notes dissolved into silence, a serene stillness settled over the room. The piano keys lay dormant, yet the air retained a charged energy, a mystery beyond my comprehension. The grandfather clock tolled softly, heralding the approaching dawn, and I realized the night had waned. The enigma of the unseen pianist remained unsolved, the melody a haunting echo in my mind, unattainable in its purity. On quiet evenings when the moonlight painted patterns on the floor, I would ensconce myself in the armchair, awaiting a reprise of those mysterious notes. Though the phantom pianist never returned, a sense of presence lingered, as if a spectral hand hovered above the keys, poised to unleash another nocturne. The piano stood sentinel in the living room, a relic of that fateful night, gathering dust between sporadic polishings. Yet a whisper of lavender clung to the air, and the keys retained a warmth that transcended time, a reminder of the extraordinary encounter. Perhaps some mysteries are not meant to be unraveled but cherished, cradled in the recesses of our hearts like precious memories straddling the realms of dream and reality. Story 3. As I explored the ancient building that had fallen into my possession, I meandered through a desolate corridor untouched by light for years. In the faint flicker of a solitary bulb, I glimpsed a shadowy figure gliding soundlessly along the wall. The corridor exuded the musty scent of decayed wood and aged dampness, each footstep awakening echoes of a forgotten past. The air grew heavy with each step I took into the heart of the building. My fingers grazed the rough, worn wallpaper, its intricate design barely visible in the dim light. The occasional creak of the floorboards beneath me matched the rhythm of my steady breaths. There was an unsettling yet strangely familiar aura about this place, reminiscent of a dream, half remembered. As my eyes adjusted to the darkness, I noticed peculiar details. Dust-covered picture frames adorned the walls, their contents obscured by time's veil. Yet their arrangement struck me as peculiar. Each frame hung askew, as if slowly turning over decades. The gentle sway of the flickering bulb cast their shadows in a mesmerizing dance upon the floor. A soft whisper of wind brushed past me, though windows were absent in this part of the building. With each step forward, the temperature plummeted, prompting me to wrap my arms around myself for warmth. The shadow I had glimpsed earlier reappeared, more defined this time, gliding with fluid grace along the aged walls. It seemed to pause when I did, observing, waiting. The corridor curved gradually to the left, revealing a section where the ceiling dipped lower. Here, the wallpaper peeled away in curling strips, unveiling hints of bygone patterns and colors beneath, remnants of different eras. One strip felt strangely warm to the touch, as though retaining the heat of a long-lost sun. I noticed subtle changes in the echoes of my footsteps, as if the sounds reverberated back through time. The shadow kept pace, always on the periphery of my vision, never fully disclosing its form, yet commanding a presence that couldn't be ignored. Whispers of unfamiliar scents lingered in the air, the aroma of fresh coffee, the sweet perfume of summer blooms, mingled with the age-old mustiness. These phantom fragrances flickered in and out of existence, casting doubt on my senses. Each breath seemed to carry memories not my own. Coming upon a tarnished, brass-handled door, I observed the shadow freeze, spreading like spilled ink across the wall. The wood of the door pulsated subtly, emitting a warmth incongruous with the frigid corridor. Time warped in this place. I glanced at my watch, only to find the hands moving erratically, defying conventional timekeeping. The shadow began to assume recognizable shapes, hinting at human forms yet not quite solidifying. It moved purposefully, as if conveying a message without words. The building seemed to respond to my presence, its creaks and groans forming a cryptic language I strained to comprehend. The shadow shifted in response to these sounds, engaging in a silent dialogue beyond my grasp. Within a recess in the wall, I discovered a lone shelf holding an ancient leather-bound tome, its cover worn from years of handling. As I reached for it, the shadow receded, granting me the space to uncover this enigma on my own. Though the book's pages lay blank, my touch revealed faint indentations, as if words had been inscribed with invisible ink. The bulb above pulsed in synchrony with my heartbeat, while the shadow grew bolder, no longer lurking in the shadows, but purposefully traversing the walls. It seemed to beckon me forward, its movements deliberate. Anticipation hung thick in the air, pregnant with untold tales. Reaching what seemed to be the corridor's end, I confronted a vast mirror, its aged surface clouded. Within its reflection, the shadow materialized distinctly for the first time, a fluid amalgamation of memories and time. It danced independently of my own reflection, recounting silent narratives through its movements upon the glass. The mirror unveiled glimpses of the corridor across different eras, vibrant and new, then fading, transforming, evolving. The shadow threaded through these images, bridging past and present. Standing there, witnessing this silent chronicle unfurl, I realized I had become part of its ongoing saga. The true nature of the shadow eluded me, as did its reason for revealing itself on that particular day. Occasionally, when I revisit the building, I catch fleeting glimpses of it in the corridor, gliding along the walls with ethereal grace. The air still carries those elusive scents, and the picture frames continue their perpetual rotation. The corridor guards its secrets closely, divulging them only through whispers and shadows to those willing to listen. Story 4. On a moonlit journey homeward, the nearly vacant subway car exuded an uncanny heaviness. Nestled in the distant corner, a lone figure perched in silence, their gaze fixed upon me as the train clattered through shadowy tunnels. The atmosphere hung dense with the mingled aromas of perspiration and stagnant air, while an unsettling sensation of being observed draped over me like a shroud. The gentle sway of the carriage and the rhythmic clatter of wheels against tracks wove a hypnotic symphony that typically would have ushered me into slumber. Yet, this night was unlike any other. My focus persistently gravitated back to the stranger, whose mere presence seemed to warp the very essence of reality surrounding them. The fluorescent lights overhead sporadically flickered, casting peculiar shadows that danced playfully across the weathered metal walls. A peculiar observation struck me about my fellow traveler. Their outline appeared faintly blurred, akin to viewing them through a rain-smeared pane. Each blink or shift of my gaze briefly sharpened their contours before softening once more. The effect, subtle as it was, might have been attributed to my weary eyes, had it not been for the ensuing event. The stranger extended a hand in what seemed a gesture of greeting, yet the motion left lingering trails in the air, resembling the radiant streaks painted by sparklers in the night sky. Each movement rippled through the space surrounding them, distorting the advertisements on the walls behind. The temperature within the car plummeted several degrees, eliciting goosebumps to prickle along my arms. Time itself seemed to stretch and contract with each passing breath. The intervals between stations elongated, the darkness beyond the windows deepening into an abyss. The customary ambient noises of the subway, the rush of air, the mechanical groans, the distant echoes, all dissolved into a velvety silence, leaving solely the rhythmic heartbeat of wheels on tracks. I found myself fixated on their attire, a blend of modernity and antiquity intertwined. A coat that could have been worn yesterday or a century ago, shoes shifting between styles when not under direct scrutiny. Their countenance remained shrouded in shadow despite the overhead illumination, as though darkness itself gravitated towards them. A haunting melody hummed from their lips, though I perceived it not with my ears but within my chest, evoking memories of childhood lullabies and faded dreams. Heavy lids weighed upon my eyes, yet I resisted the beckoning slumber, ensnared between comfort and disquiet. Subtle alterations began to unfurl within the subway car. Advertisements morphed into different images when caught in peripheral vision. Metal poles seemed to bend at inconceivable angles before swiftly returning to normalcy when directly observed. The windows reflected scenes that defied reality: lush gardens, grand libraries, distant constellations. The stranger rose leisurely, their movement fluid as water in zero gravity. Advancing towards me, I noticed their feet barely graze the floor. A pearlescent shimmer enveloped the air around them, akin to heat waves rising from sun-soaked pavement. Their presence exuded an aura of ancient wisdom and boundless patience. Seating themselves opposite me, a fleeting glimpse of their face revealed a visage both kind and ageless, familiar yet impossible to commit to memory. Their voice, a whisper as soft as wind through autumn foliage, resonated within me. "You perceive more than most," they intoned, though their lips remained unmoving. Rare is it to encounter one still awake at this twilight hour of reality. Though a myriad of queries swirled within my mind, I found myself enfolded in a profound tranquility. The train's gentle sway cradled me, and the darkness beyond the windows transformed into a comforting embrace. The stranger's presence no longer bore a menacing air, but rather mirrored the reunion with an old friend whose name lingered just beyond reach. When I reopened my eyes, solitude greeted me within the subway car. The fluorescent lights hummed with their customary harshness, the advertisements showcasing their conventional wares. The air reverted to its usual temperature, and the subway's familiar symphony of sounds resumed its chorus. Yet, an indefinable change had occurred. In the window's reflection, a subtle iridescence clung to my garments, akin to dewdrops on a spider's web. Nestled within my pocket, a ticket stub surfaced, its script inscribed in an alphabet unfamiliar yet comprehensible. Henceforth, during nocturnal subway rides, I vigilantly observed my fellow passengers. Occasionally, when the light danced just so, I caught glimpses of blurred edges and lingering after images. And on rare occasions, I sensed a distant humming that resonated not in my ears, but within my very bones. A whisper that reality is far more malleable than perceived, particularly within those enigmatic realms between consciousness and slumber. Story 5. In the heart of an old restaurant marked for destruction, a peculiar scent lingered in the stale air, a fusion of warm bread just out of the oven mingled with a hint of caramelized sugar. Soft light filtered through dusty windows, casting eerie shapes on peeling walls, while every creak in the deserted dining area whispered tales of banquets and sorrows long forgotten. An explorer of forsaken places, I found solace in their silence, a silence that seemed to beckon me further into the unknown. As a seasoned urban decay photographer, I believed I had witnessed it all. Yet, this place held a mystique that set it apart from the rest, from the very moment I crossed its threshold. The fading afternoon sunlight painted ghostly patterns on worn floorboards in the abandoned eatery, resembling ethereal footprints of bygone visitors. The kitchen, with its tarnished stainless steel surfaces, appeared neglected but curiously devoid of the usual layer of dust. Running my fingers along a countertop, I was surprised by its smooth, cool texture, untouched by time. A subtle warmth enveloped me, emanating from the ancient brick oven nestled against the far wall. The fragrance grew more potent as I neared, carrying whispers of rosemary and thyme beneath the sweet aroma. Despite my logical mind's protests, insisting the oven couldn't possibly be warm, the stones radiated a gentle heat, akin to a slumbering giant's breath. In the dimness, a flicker of movement within the oven's dark maw caught my eye, captivating my senses. Forgoing my camera, I gravitated towards a small office concealed behind the kitchen, where faded photographs adorned the walls, faces frozen in time, gazing through scratched glass from different epochs. Among them, one picture stood out. A group of employees posed proudly beside the brick oven, captured mere weeks before the abrupt closure of the restaurant 3 decades prior. The longer I scrutinized the image, the more details unraveled. The oven remained unchanged, right down to the peculiar arrangement of weathered bricks around its arch. Yet there was an enigmatic presence in the backdrop, barely discernible, its form elusive. Leaning closer, the scent of baking bread intensified, accompanied by a faint humming drifting from the kitchen. Time seemed distorted within that space. While outside, daylight barely shifted, my watch indicated the passage of hours. Later, upon reviewing my photographs, peculiar anomalies emerged. Phantom figures lingering in the background and wisps of steam rising from an oven that should have been cold and inert. Periodically, an inexplicable urge drew me back to the restaurant, only to find it elusive, as if the streets conspired to keep its secrets veiled. Yet on tranquil nights, a familiar aroma of fresh bread and caramelized sugar wafted through my window, as if the restaurant sought me out, rather than the reverse. The anticipated demolition never transpired. When the crew arrived one morning, the edifice had vanished, leaving behind an empty lot, erasing any trace of its existence. Locals whispered of evenings when, under the perfect light, the outline of the old restaurant materialized in the air, a fleeting apparition. Listen closely, they said, and you might catch the creak of an oven door swinging open, and the tantalizing scent of baking bread from a kitchen lost to our world. I still possess the photograph I took that day, the staff gathered by the brick oven. At times I study it intently by night, seeking clarity on my unearthly encounter. The shadow in the background now appears more defined, resembling a figure in an apron, hands poised as if kneading invisible dough. Yet, the most perplexing detail eluded me until recently. Reflected in the gleaming handle of the oven, a figure stood, capturing the image. A figure clad in the same attire I wore during my visit, standing in a kitchen abandoned for decades. As I pen these words, the scents of bread and caramelized sugar envelop my apartment with newfound intensity. In my peripheral vision, a warm glow flickers, a phantom oven that defies reality. Story 6. In a quaint gallery nestled in a serene corner of town, I stumbled upon a painting that seemed to weave its own tale with each passing glance. The hues danced subtly, and the eyes of the figure within followed my every move. The air, thick with the aroma of oil and turpentine, whispered a tale of a living artwork, observing, anticipating. It was 6 months ago when I embraced the role of the night guardian at this unassuming gallery, seeking solace and stillness after a lifetime amidst bustling retail chaos. The night watch fit me like a glove. It was just me, the art pieces, and the gentle hum of the climate control system, safeguarding the treasures within. The painting that captivated me hung in the western wing, where moonbeams often pirouetted through the skylights, casting enchanting shadows on the wooden floors. It portrayed a Victorian-era parlor, painted in soft browns and rich burgundies, with a lone figure seated in a regal chair. The enigmatic subject, a woman in a somber gown, her visage veiled in shadows, yet her eyes, those eyes gleamed with an otherworldly luminance. During my nocturnal patrols, I began to discern subtle shifts. Initially, I dismissed them as figments of light or figments of my own wandering mind in the silent nocturne. But I started capturing the changes with my phone, comparing the images day after day. The woman's stance would sway ever so slightly. A hand glided from her lap to the armrest, her head tilted at a new angle, the room's shadows ebbing and flowing. The alterations were so gradual that no other soul seemed to perceive them. The day staff carried on with their duties. Tourists snapped memories, and art enthusiasts sketched diligently. Yet in the stillness of night, with only the gentle patter of rain against the skylights as accompaniment, I could feel the painting's subtle metamorphosis. I found myself lingering longer in that wing, perched on a wooden bench opposite the artwork. The soft whir of the ventilation system became a serene melody as I delved into every stroke, every nuance of color. At times, I brought my flask of chamomile tea, its soothing scent mingling with the gallery's familiar fragrance of aged wood and canvas. One tranquil night, with moonbeams filtering through wispy clouds, I spied a new element in the painting. Behind the woman's chair, half shrouded in the parlor's darkness, stood a door I was certain hadn't existed before. Slightly ajar, it revealed naught but obscurity beyond. The woman's eyes seemed to hold a secret gaze, as though sharing a truth unspoken. I found myself drawn into lengthier contemplations before the painting. The gentle creaking of the gallery's ancient wooden floors became a lullaby, and the darkness beyond that painted portal seemed to cradle endless possibilities. Sometimes, in the realm betwixt consciousness and slumber, I fancied hearing the whisper of fabric, the rustle of the woman's gown as she shifted in her seat. What intrigued me most was how the painting mirrored my own inner landscape. On serene evenings, the parlor exuded warmth and welcome, its shadows tender and embracing. During storms when thunder rumbled distantly, the room's corners darkened, and the woman's countenance bore a hint of caution or worry. The gallery proprietor noted my captivation with the artwork and divulged its enigmatic origins one morning as my watch concluded. The painting had been gifted anonymously, arriving sans any record of its originator or past. Every endeavor to date it or attribute it remained futile. The techniques employed seemed to transcend epochs, rendering it unplaceable in any specific era. As the months drifted by, I forged a profound kinship with the mysterious piece. The woman became a silent confidant during my solitary vigils, her ever-evolving presence a testament to the fluidity of reality. The soft radiance of the security lights, the hushed murmur of the heating system, and the gentle groan of the settling walls cocooned us in a haven of peace. I never deciphered the enigma behind the painting's transmutations. Perhaps it was the interplay of moonlight and shade, or perchance a more mystical force was at play. Yet, I comprehended that certain enigmas are best left uncharted, existing in that dreamy realm between the tangible and the fanciful. Now, as I sit ensconced in the tranquil gallery, witnessing the final strokes of sunset paint the walls in amber hues, I discern the door in the painting has widened its gap tonight. The woman's visage bears a trace of invitation, and for an instant I ponder what might unfold should I step through that canvas into her realm. Yet for now, I am content to linger in this serene liminal space, where actuality and reveries intertwine like threads in an eternal tapestry. Story 7. One night, as I sifted through the dusty relics in my garage, a peculiar discovery halted my search. There, in a corner where no door had ever existed, stood a mysterious entrance. Its surface was sleek and cold to the touch, devoid of any conventional means of opening, while a soft glow seeped from its edges. The familiar sense of oil and dust gave way to an unsettling hush that quickened my pulse. This garage had been my sanctuary for years, a space of tools, projects, and memories neatly boxed away. Every crack in the floor, every cobweb in the shadows, every oil stain held a familiarity as deep as my own reflection. Yet this door defied all I thought I knew about my domain. The light escaping from its seams was neither warm like sunshine nor harsh like artificial beams. It possessed a quality that eluded definition, something akin to moonbeams mingling with the glow of deep-sea creatures. Standing there, transfixed, I felt a subtle chill in the air, raising goosebumps on my skin. My fingertips grazed the door's surface, finding it unnervingly smooth, almost liquid-like beneath its solid facade. It was akin to touching water frozen in time, suspended between solid and liquid states. That evening, I found myself rooted to the spot, unable to tear my gaze away from the enigmatic door. Settling into an old chair, I watched as the light pulsed gently, like the rhythmic breath of a slumbering beast. The silence enveloped me, deep and tranquil, muffling even the usual house sounds, the hum of the fridge, the creak of the heating system, the settling of timbers. It was as though the door had woven its own cocoon of quiet around me. Hours slipped by unnoticed, marked only by the subtle shifts in the light's hue. Now indigo, now silver, the transitions were so gradual, they defied precise observation. The effect was mesmerizing, lulling my mind into a tranquil drift along a serene stream. Somewhere amidst this ethereal dance, I succumbed to sleep, only to awaken to a subtly altered atmosphere. The garage felt expansive, as though its boundaries had stretched in the night. The door's glow now bore a faint greenish tint, accompanied by a distant tinkling reminiscent of wind chimes, though no breeze stirred the air. Rising to ease my stiff limbs, I noticed the shadows cast by the door behaved oddly, bending as if drawn toward the light. The boxes I had arranged earlier appeared shifted, as if by unseen hands. Other anomalies revealed themselves gradually. The air thickened and thinned in waves as if tides of some unseen ocean. The ground beneath me yielded slightly, akin to walking on beach sand. Time itself played tricks, its flow erratic and unpredictable. Moments elongated and snapped back abruptly, disorienting my sense of passing time. And then a revelation unfolded before my eyes, patterns materializing on the door's surface, intricate and alive. They wove tales of spaces unseen, of time coiling upon itself, of light that pondered and darkness that dreamed. These patterns etched themselves not on the door, but within my mind, imparting ineffable truths beyond words. They whispered of mysteries unbound, of realms uncharted, of wonders unimagined. And yet, the door remained unopened, a threshold to the unknown, a silent sentinel of enigma. It lingered, a testament to the unfathomed depths of reality. Some nights, I still find myself drawn to the garage, where the door stands, a silent witness to the mysteries it guards. Each beholder perceives it differently, a mere closet to some, invisible to others, a melodic muse to a few. I have come to embrace its presence, this impossible portal in my mundane haven. It serves as a reminder that not all mysteries demand unraveling, that questions can hold more value than answers, that awe can coexist with the banal. In the quiet hours, when sleep eludes me, I seek solace in its gentle radiance, a meditative communion with the unknown that lends depth to the known. The door that materialized in my garage never divulged its secrets, but perhaps that was never its purpose. Its gift lay in teaching me acceptance of uncertainty, in finding solace in the unanswerable, in cherishing the unanswered queries. And so, in the stillness of night, I sit with the door, its quiet presence a balm for the restless soul, a guide to finding peace in the embrace of the unknowable. Story 8. As the day's weight settled upon my shoulders, I sought solace in the sanctuary of my bathroom. The hot shower unleashed billows of steam, enveloping the mirror in a hazy embrace. Within the swirling condensation, delicate words emerged, etched in a script so faint it seemed almost otherworldly. The familiar scent of soap now carried a hint of something ancient, a subtle reminder that there were mysteries lingering just beyond my grasp. I stood transfixed, a silent observer as more letters materialized on the misty surface. The bathroom glowed with a welcoming warmth, casting soft shadows that danced along the walls. The rhythmic patter of water droplets from the shower formed a tranquil cadence, syncing harmoniously with the beat of my own heart. The elegant script on the mirror bore a message. "Remember the music box," it whispered cryptically. Strangely, the mention of a music box sparked a flicker of recognition within me, although the memory remained elusive, like a distant echo from a dream long forgotten. That night, compelled by an unseen force, I ascended the creaking stairs to the attic, each footfall releasing the scent of aged wood into the air. Moonlight filtered through the dusty window, painting the forgotten treasures with ethereal light. Nestled in a corner, beneath a velvet cloth that felt like a caress, I uncovered an ornate wooden box. Its surface, adorned with intricate carvings of vines and flowers, seemed to stir in the faint glow. Upon lifting the lid, I was met not with music, but the gentle susurration of rain. Within lay a trove of yellowed letters, penned in the same elegant hand that had graced the mirror, weaving tales of a hidden realm intertwined with our own. The letters spoke of veiled portals in morning mists, of whispered conversations carried by the wind, and of mirrors that held secrets beyond mere reflections. Each night thereafter, new messages awaited me on the bathroom mirror, guiding me to forgotten relics within my own home. A photograph nestled within a tome, a trinket evoking memories buried deep within my soul, each discovery a breadcrumb in a grander narrative. Far from instilling fear, these messages felt like a gentle nudge from an unseen confidant. The wooden floors beneath my feet seemed to resonate with untold stories, their secrets whispering through the grain. The nocturnal symphony of settling sounds, the gentle groan of floorboards, the breath of wind through keyholes, the soft percussion of branches against glass, coalesced into a language that I, slowly but surely, began to decipher. One twilight, as autumn's golden leaves pirouetted past my window, a message seized my attention. Look beneath the floor where dawn's first light caresses. The following morning, as sunlight tiptoed across my bedroom floor, my gaze fell upon a floorboard that bore a subtle divergence. With tender resolve, I lifted it to reveal a hidden compartment below, a leather-bound journal, its pages adorned with the familiar script that had become my guide. Yet, It was a note in my grandmother's hand on the opening page that arrested my gaze. For when you're ready to see. And now, as I commit these words to paper, a sense of gentle presence envelops me, a guardian spirit, a spectral companion. The enigmatic messages on the mirror no longer cloak themselves in mystery. Rather, they offer a sense of belonging, of returning to a place of serenity. In the quiet lulls of the house, when evening light bathes the room in a soft glow, I catch fleeting glimpses of movement in reflective surfaces. Not eerie, but familiar, like the echo of a cherished lullaby. I've learned that some enigmas are not meant to be unraveled, that some questions find solace in their unanswered state. The unseen hand that paints messages on my mirror has become a silent companion in the solitude, a gentle reminder that magic thrives in the spaces between heartbeats. The messages persist, beckoning me to new discoveries each night. And as I prepare to surrender to slumber, I await the fog's embrace on the mirror, not with trepidation, but with eager anticipation. In this liminal realm between certainty and intuition, I discover a tranquil peace, a peace inscribed in steam and whispers, in the language of shadows and half-remembered melodies. Story 9. In the deep silence of a restless night, a soft lullaby beckoned from the room adjacent to mine. Its melody, a delicate blend of sweetness and eeriness, drifted through the stillness like a spectral whisper. As the soothing notes caressed the air, a chill crept down my spine, embracing me in a blend of comfort and unease brought on by the unseen musician's presence. I lay in bed, transfixed by the moonlight dancing on the ceiling, painted silver by the gossamer curtains. The music carried whispers of forgotten memories, each note tinged with a strange familiarity that tugged at my heart. It was reminiscent of my grandmother's own haunting lullabies from my childhood, her voice echoing the same spectral quality that now enveloped my room. Beneath the carpet, the ancient wooden floorboards murmured softly, adding their voice to the mysterious melody that filled the room. A gentle breeze stirred the curtains, carrying with it the fragrant essence of night-blooming jasmine from the garden below. The air itself seemed pregnant with an enigmatic presence, not menacing but profoundly aware. As I focused on the melody, I discerned faint words woven within its tapestry, shifting between known languages and unfamiliar tongues. The voice, feminine and tender, possessed an ageless quality that made it impossible to discern whether it belonged to a young maiden or an ancient soul. It spoke of dreams and shadows, moonlit gardens and forgotten oaths. My curiosity eventually overcame my hesitation. With cautious steps, I slipped from beneath the warmth of my covers, my bare feet meeting the cool touch of the wooden floor. The temperature seemed to drop with each stride towards the door, though the night air held no particular chill. The lullaby maintained its ethereal distance, neither growing louder nor softer as I drew closer. Moonlight spilled into the hallway through high windows, casting pools of silvery light on the floor. Family portraits adorned the walls, their gaze shrouded in shadows, watching my progress with eyes that seemed to follow my every move. The music guided me towards the room that once belonged to my great-aunt, a space I had avoided since inheriting the house. My hand trembled slightly as it reached for the brass doorknob, its warmth a stark contrast to the surrounding coolness. The lullaby persisted, now accompanied by the gentle creak of an old rocking chair. Memories flooded my mind of the women in my family who had nurtured their young in that very chair, sharing tales and secrets. The door swung open smoothly as I turned the knob, revealing a room bathed in a soft, ethereal light that seemed to emanate from all directions at once. The rocking chair beside the window moved with a gentle sway, empty of any occupant. Lace curtains fluttered as if stirred by an invisible hand, despite the absence of a breeze. On an antique dresser stood a music box I had never before seen, its mirror reflecting the moonlight in prismatic patterns that danced across the walls. The melody appeared to emanate from the box itself, and the very air around it. Intricate carvings adorned its wooden surface, shifting in design with each change in perspective. Beside the music box lay a photograph, unnoticed until that moment. In the soft glow, I discerned the image of a woman in Victorian attire seated in a rocking chair, cradling the music box in her lap. Her features bore a striking resemblance to my own, though the photo must have been taken generations before my time. As the lullaby reached a poignant verse that resonated deep within my soul, I found myself humming along, the words flowing effortlessly from my lips, despite my unfamiliarity with them. The room embraced me with a warmth that felt familiar, like a long-lost embrace from a loved one. The rocking chair's motion synchronized with the melody, swaying in harmony with the music's cadence. Standing there, enveloped in the song's embrace, I felt a profound connection to a lineage of women who had shared this melody across time. Fear gave way to a sense of peace and belonging that filled me to the core. Gradually, the lullaby faded like a mist dispersing in the morning sun. The rocking chair stilled, and the music box closed itself gently. The room retained its tranquil aura, though the mystical light dimmed to the soft glow of moonlight. The origins of the music box remained a mystery, disappearing by morning save for the photograph that bore witness to its existence. Now, as I cradle my own child in that same rocking chair, I find myself humming a familiar tune, a melody of love, family, and enigmas that need no resolution to be understood. In the silent interludes between notes, I swear I hear other voices joining mine, carrying our lullaby through the corridors of time. Story 10. In the quiet embrace of my small backyard garden, a peculiar discovery captured my attention. Delicate footprints, unknown and purposeful, marked their presence in the moist soil, leading a mysterious path into the dense thicket beyond. Amidst the fragrant symphony of earth and blossoms, a subtle enigma lingered in the air, casting a veil of watchfulness as I knelt to follow the trail. The gentle afternoon sunlight painted intricate patterns through the foliage, weaving shadows that danced at my feet. This garden, my haven of tranquility where time slowed its relentless march and the chaos of the world receded, now held a new intrigue. Running my fingers over one of the distinct footprints, I felt the cool dampness of the soil, noting their unusual size and human-like shape, unlike any familiar creature's mark. As I ventured deeper into the garden, the scent of jasmine grew stronger, mingling with the stillness that enveloped the hanging wind chimes, refusing to sing with the breeze. The footprints guided me towards the ancient stone fountain, its gentle babble serving as a melodic backdrop to my exploration. Night after night, I found myself drawn back to the garden, witnessing the ethereal footprints vanish with the days passing, only to reappear in altered forms by dawn. Their patterns, ever-changing, circled the roses, wandered through the herbs, always leading to the impenetrable thicket, where their creator seemed to dissolve into the greenery. In reverence, I left offerings near the fountain, berries from my garden, wildflower arrangements, and honey in delicate vessels. Each morning the gifts vanished, replaced by mysterious tokens, spiraled shells unknown to my collection, stones aglow with moonlit hues, and intricate patterns etched in the soil with unfamiliar seeds. Whispers of neighbors' children hinted at the garden's transformation, blooms more vibrant, plants thriving where they once withered, and a plethora of fluttering moths and butterflies adorning the air with unnameable colors. One serene evening, bathed in the pastel palette of a setting sun, I sat by the fountain, surrounded by the nocturnal bloom's intoxicating perfume. Fireflies waltzed above the flower beds, painting the scene with their luminescent grace. Closing my eyes, I caught a faint rustle from the thicket, and upon opening them, beheld a diminutive figure perched at the fountain's rim, ephemeral and solid in turns like dawn's mist. We shared a silent communion, untroubled by fear or shock, as if this encounter had been ordained since the first footprint graced the earth. The figure exuded a profound serenity, echoing the ancient wisdom mirrored in nature's patterns, a wisdom found in shell spirals and petals symmetries. Without words, I comprehended that my garden transcended its physical boundaries, bridging realms unseen. As night descended, the figure dissolved, leaving behind a lone footprint brimming with starlit water. From then on, the garden felt not empty, but pregnant with gentle possibilities, a sanctuary of quiet enchantment. The enigmatic footprints still materialize intermittently, and the offerings persist, yet I no longer seek to unravel their origin. Instead, I nurture my garden with a newfound purpose, acknowledging the mystical space it occupies between the known and the mysterious, between wakefulness and dreaming. Those footprints endure as a testament that magic whispers softly, leaving delicate imprints on the earth, transforming the familiar into a beautifully strange realm of peaceful wonder. Story 11. The rain whispered softly against the window, its gentle taps creating a serene symphony in the room. The air held the fragrance of damp wood and a lingering aroma of steaming tea resting on the desk. It was a night perfectly crafted for losing oneself in a book, drifting into a peaceful slumber without a worry in sight. Suddenly, 3 distinct knocks shattered the tranquility, each one crisp and resolute. I froze, my breath caught in anticipation. No one was expected at this hour. The aged armchair sighed as I shifted, carefully marking the pages of my well-loved paperback. The clock on the wall displayed 11:47 p.m., its rhythmic ticking blending harmoniously with the rain's melody outside. Living on the top floor, visitors were a rare occurrence, especially during the darkness of night. The notion of someone standing outside my door at this late hour sent shivers down my spine. I remained motionless, straining to catch any sound. The rain continued its gentle lullaby, and the radiator murmured its familiar tune. Perhaps it was just my imagination playing tricks on me, fueled by the ghostly tales that kept me awake. Nestling back into my chair, I wrapped my soft blanket snugly around me. Then the knocks echoed once more. 3 precise taps, evenly spaced, each one a mirror image of the last. My heart quickened, not out of fear, but a strange sense of recognition enveloped me. There was something in that rhythm that tugged at the corners of my memory, akin to a long-forgotten dream. Rising slowly, my footsteps muffled by socks on the wooden floor, I approached the door. The warm glow from my reading lamp bathed the room in a gentle light, casting dancing shadows on the walls. A peculiar observation caught my eye as I neared the door. The usual draft that seeped beneath it was absent, despite the storm raging outside. Standing before the door, I pressed my palm against its smooth surface. The wood felt unusually warm, as if basking in the sun's rays, a stark contrast to the rainy night. Closing my eyes, I focused on the sensations surrounding me, the rain's soft patter, the distant thunder's rumble, and the faint vibration against my hand from the door. 3 more knocks resonated, softer this time, almost hesitant, like a gentle awakening. The warmth emanating from the door pulsed with each tap, spreading through me in soothing waves. Memories of my grandmother's tales flooded my mind, stories of nights when the boundaries between worlds blurred. She spoke of visitors bearing forgotten wisdom, not to incite fear but to impart knowledge. Some doors lead to realms beyond comprehension, her words echoed in my thoughts. Standing there, hand pressed against the warm wood, I pondered if this was what she meant. The knocking ceased, yet the warmth lingered, a gentle throb like a heartbeat. The rain outside altered its rhythm, aligning with the pattern of the knocks. Time seemed to stretch and twist, akin to honey cascading from a spoon. A golden hue enveloped my apartment, casting an otherworldly glow over everything. The books, the furniture, even the steam from my neglected tea. That night, the door remained unopened. I stood there until the warmth dissipated, and the rain resumed its random cadence. Returning to my armchair, I discovered my tea still piping hot, despite the hours that had passed. The clock displayed 11:47 p.m., unchanged from when the knocks first intruded upon the night. Now, on quiet rainy evenings, a familiar warmth occasionally emanates from the door. I've learned to cherish these moments, gentle reminders that reality is more fluid than we perceive. The knocking never recurred, yet a shift occurred within me that night. I've realized that some enigmas are meant to be felt rather than deciphered, akin to a soft murmur that fades before clarity emerges. My grandmother would have comprehended. Some doors are better left unopened, not from dread, but from reverence for the delicate equilibrium between knowledge and the unexplained. The true mystery, perhaps, lies not in the source of the knocking, but in how it unveiled a hidden aspect of myself. Drifting off to sleep that night, a newfound tranquility enveloped me. The rain persisted, the clock continued its steady beat, and occasionally on special nights, that familiar warmth brushes against my hand. And in those moments, I smile, embracing the notion that certain inquiries are best left as gentle riddles, lulling us into slumber with their ambiguous whispers. Story 12. On a stormy night, as the rain whispered against the windows, I found myself in my study, enveloped in the cozy embrace of my leather-bound book. The room was dim, save for the soft glow of an unlit candle that sat at the center of the table. Without warning, the candle began to emit a gentle light that pulsed in harmony with the distant thunder. A warm radiance filled the room, casting shadows that danced across the pages of my book. The candle itself was a simple white pillar, unremarkable in appearance, yet it exuded an otherworldly aura that captivated me. The air carried a faint scent of melted wax, mingled with something elusive and mysterious. I leaned in closer, drawn to the enchanting light, as if it held a secret waiting to be unveiled. Time seemed to slow in the presence of that soft luminescence. The storm outside faded into a distant murmur, and the old house creaks fell silent. The candle's glow created intricate patterns on the walls, forming shapes that seemed to stir memories just out of reach. As the night deepened, the room transformed. Objects responded to the candle's presence, casting shadows that whispered of stories untold. The air itself felt heavier, pregnant with the weight of undiscovered truths. Vanilla and old parchment mingled in the evolving scent, adding layers of complexity to the sensory experience. Fountain pens cast shadows that morphed into cryptic symbols, while the crystal paperweight scattered rainbows across the ceiling. Each pulse of the light revealed glimpses of faces and places, familiar yet shrouded in mystery. It was like witnessing a dance of forgotten memories, each fragment teasing the edges of comprehension. Compelled to capture this extraordinary night, I reached for my journal. The ink shimmered with an otherworldly iridescence as I wrote, imbuing each word with hidden depths. Hours slipped by in silent communion with the inexplicable, the candle's glow unwavering in its silent vigil. As dawn approached, the light of the candle merged seamlessly with the gray morning outside. The scent shifted once more, carrying the promise of a new day tinged with the lingering mystery of the night. The candle's glow faded into the natural illumination of daybreak, leaving behind only the scent and the words in my journal as evidence of its presence. To this day, the candle sits on my desk, a silent reminder of that mysterious night. On quiet evenings when the rain returns, I wait in my grandfather's chair, hoping to once again be drawn into the enchanting dance of light and shadow, wondering if the candle will share its silent story with me once more. Story 13. In the early hush of morning, a serene park beckoned me with its ancient charm. Meandering through the tranquil paths, my steps led me to a colossal oak tree, standing tall and proud like a guardian of forgotten tales. Its bark, weathered by time, bore a treasure trove of enigmatic carvings that seemed to shimmer softly in the dim light. As I drew closer, a sense of mystique enveloped me, drawing me in like a whisper carried on the breeze. The symbols etched into the tree's surface, though worn, held a deliberate presence, hinting at a story untold, a riddle waiting to be deciphered. The earthy scent of damp soil mingled with the sweet fragrance of foliage, creating an atmosphere thick with intrigue. Tracing my fingers along the rough texture, I felt each groove, each curve, as if seeking a connection with the tree's ancient wisdom. The morning mist danced at my feet, weaving ethereal patterns that mirrored the intricate carvings before me. Above, the leaves rustled in a gentle symphony, accompanied by the distant melody of birdsong carried on the cool air. The symbols seemed to shift and transform under my gaze, revealing a tapestry of letters from diverse alphabets, some familiar, others foreign and enigmatic. Among them, patterns emerged, a spiral echoing the golden ratio, symbols resembling celestial constellations, each telling a silent story of its own. Time slowed to a languid pace as I delved deeper into the enigmatic carvings, losing myself in their cryptic allure. What began as a mere walk in the park soon transformed into a daily pilgrimage to the oak tree, a ritual of unraveling its secrets one layer at a time. With each visit, new revelations awaited me. Shadows casting intricate designs, dew glistening like liquid silver in the carved grooves. The tree became my haven, a realm where reality blurred with dreams, where the boundary between the known and the unknown grew faint. One mist-laden morning, I arrived to find the carvings altered, as if awakened by some unseen force during the night. Fresh symbols adorned the bark, pulsing with a subtle energy that tingled in the air. The leaves whispered urgently overhead, as if urging me to decipher the tree's cryptic language. A breeze carried a scent of antiquity, of wisdom buried deep within the annals of time, a fragrance of old tomes and withered blooms, stirring memories long forgotten. Fingers trembling, I sketched the symbols in my notebook, attempting to capture their elusive essence, to unravel the threads of their story. With each stroke of my pencil, a pattern emerged, weaving a narrative not just across the tree's surface, but through the fabric of time itself. Some carvings seemed ancient, weathered by centuries of wind and rain, while others gleamed with a fresh vitality, as if born of a recent hand. The local library became my sanctuary, a trove of knowledge where I sought answers to the tree's enigma. Each discovery unveiled new layers of mystery, deepening my bond with the oak, drawing me further into its web of secrets. In the realm of dreams, the carvings spoke to me with clarity, revealing tales of cycles and watchers, of messages whispered through the ages. The tree, it seemed, was a custodian of memories, a keeper of stories etched in the language of time. At times, when sunlight filtered through the canopy just so, I glimpsed fleeting shadows of the ancient carvers, their forms drifting like wisps of smoke, a silent testament to the countless hands that had shaped the oak's history. Months passed, and yet the mystery remained elusive, a puzzle with no clear solution. And yet, in that uncertainty, I found solace, a reminder that some truths are meant to be felt, to be experienced in the quiet spaces of the heart. The oak stood as a bridge between worlds, a conduit between the known and the unknown, inviting me to embrace the wonder that lay beyond understanding. The identity of the carvers, their intentions, mattered little in the grand tapestry of time. And so, beneath the tree's outstretched branches, I now sit in silent communion, adding my own musings to the symphony of stories woven into its ancient bark. Not as carvings, for I would never mar its sacred skin, but as whispers of my own journey, echoes that may one day become part of the oak's enduring saga. The oak tree, with its silent wisdom, continues its vigil, a sentinel of mystery and wonder, a reminder that magic lingers in the spaces between what we know and what we dream. And in that twilight realm, I find peace, cradled in the embrace of a story as old as time itself. Story 14. In the stillness of the attic, a small keyring was waiting to be discovered. Adorned with a collection of ornate antique keys, each one whispered of untold stories and hidden paths. The metal gleamed in the faint light, drawing me closer with a magnetic pull that stirred a sense of wonder within me. As I sat on the dusty floor, the afternoon sun painted long shadows across the wooden boards, dancing like fleeting memories. Running my fingers over the intricate designs of the keys, I felt a connection to a world beyond the attic, where secrets slept and mysteries awaited. The keys held a timeless quality, their golden sheen untouched by the passage of years. They seemed to hum with a quiet energy, as if they were guardians of a long-forgotten tale, waiting for the right moment to reveal their truths. Bringing the keys to my study that night, I felt a shift in the atmosphere. The soft glow of the lamp played tricks on the metal, casting shadows that moved and swirled, like whispers in the dark. The gentle rain outside added its rhythm to the symphony of the night, lulling me into a state of peaceful contemplation. As I delved deeper into the mystery of the keys, I found myself drawn into a world of dreams and possibilities. Each night, corridors of imagination unfolded before me, doors whispering secrets that only the keys could unlock. And in those moments between waking and sleeping, I felt the keys calling to me, urging me to explore the hidden realms they guarded. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a revelation dawned upon me. The keys, when arranged in a certain pattern, formed a constellation of unknown origin, a map to a realm beyond my understanding. The air in my study thickened with anticipation, as if the keys themselves were alive with ancient knowledge, waiting to be discovered. Time seemed to bend and twist in the presence of the keys, each moment stretching into eternity as I unraveled their mysteries. On moonlit nights, the celestial key warmed under my touch, whispering of distant stars and cosmic secrets. And during rainfall, the key with flowering vines bloomed with light, revealing hidden patterns that danced and shifted like living things. In the quiet hours of the night, the keys became my companions, silent sentinels of a world unseen. Their enigmatic presence filled the room with a sense of magic and possibility, reminding me that some doors are best left unopened, some questions best left unanswered. And so, as I sit at my desk, watching the keys shimmer in the lamplight, I am grateful for their company. They are keepers of secrets, holders of truths that transcend time and space. And in the gentle mystery they embody, I find solace and wonder, lost in the endless exploration of their silent song. Story 15. On a rainy night, the city lights shimmered against the slick pavement as I parked my car. Through the gentle symphony of raindrops, a small handwritten note caught my eye, clinging to my windshield. Its message was enigmatic, signed with a handwriting that sent shivers down my spine. It was my own. The paper carried a faint scent of dampness and aged cologne, stirring a sense of familiarity. The note's words were brief. Meet me where light dances on water at midnight. All will be revealed when you arrive. Beneath this enigmatic message, my signature stared back at me, flawlessly replicating every twist and turn I had meticulously crafted over the years. As I stood in the drizzling rain, a knot of unease coiled in my stomach. The delicate paper felt like a relic from another era, as if it had traveled through time to find me. The drive home was accompanied by the note resting on the passenger seat, its presence a whisper in the corner of my eye. The rhythmic swish of the wipers painted hypnotic patterns on the glass, while my thoughts meandered through a maze of possibilities. The lingering cologne in my car stirred elusive memories, just beyond reach. Back in my apartment, I placed the note on my desk, bathed in the warm glow of the reading lamp. The paper exuded an antique aura, its edges yellowed with age, telling silent tales of bygone eras. Yet what captured my gaze was a faint watermark, a symbol from my childhood doodles, etched subtly into the fibers. That night, sleep came in fleeting waves, mingling with the soft patter of rain on my window. In my dreams, reflections of myself wandered through mirrors, each donning attire from a different era, passing notes like echoes of a forgotten melody. Upon waking, the note had transformed. The ink had shifted, unveiling a hidden message beneath the first, only visible in the early morning light. Time is a mystery, and so am I. My signature gleamed with an ethereal sheen, akin to oil on water, pulsating with an unseen energy. The day unfolded in serene contemplation, rain painting intricate patterns on my window panes. The world outside seemed suspended in a timeless dance, as if awaiting the unraveling of the note's enigma. Silence enveloped my phone, though I couldn't recall silencing it. The wall clock ticked with a peculiar cadence, each second elongating into a languid dance with time itself. By evening, the rain had softened into a gentle mist, beckoning me towards the serene lake nearby. The water shimmered, whispering secrets in the ripples, as if holding ancient truths within its depths. Upon reaching the shore, the streetlights cast ethereal columns of light onto the water's surface, creating a mystical spectacle. Seated on a bench overlooking the lake, the note's warmth lingered in my pocket. The air carried a blend of wet earth and that familiar cologne, growing more potent with each passing moment. A figure emerged from the mist at the water's edge, their form obscured by the haze. Motionless, they watched the interplay of light and water, a silent sentinel in the veiled night. A gesture of greeting from the figure mirrored by my own hand, as if guided by an unseen force. As I moved closer, the mist twirled into intricate patterns, unveiling ephemeral doorways leading to unknown realms. The scent of cologne intensified, unlocking a flood of memories, not of the past, but of futures yet to unfold. Before reaching the figure, I found myself back in my car, the note bearing a fresh revelation. You've treaded this path before. You will again. My signature, unchanged, now held a profound truth. It wasn't a forgery, but a premonition, penned by my own hand in a moment untold. The rain continued its gentle descent, wrapping me in a cocoon of mystery. Some enigmas, I realized, were meant to be experienced rather than resolved, like the silence between heartbeats or the space between raindrops. The note found its resting place in my desk drawer, though on nights shrouded in quiet, I swear I hear whispers of paper, reshaping into new messages. Visits to the lake became a ritual, witnessing the dance of light upon the water's surface. At times, glimpses of myself, past or future, a blurred line between them, stand at various points along the shore. Silent exchanges pass between our gazes, laden with unspoken truths. The tendrils of cologne weave through the air, weaving a tapestry of messages beyond mere words. The mystery of the note remains a riddle unsolved, yet it has woven itself into the fabric of my being, an echo that reverberates through each step. In moments of solitude, I reach for a pen, pondering if somewhere, somewhen, another version of myself is unfolding a note I am yet to write. Story 16. In the soft embrace of a rainy afternoon, a decision was made to wander along an ancient trail nestled near the edge of a dense forest. The earth, dampened by the gentle showers, exhaled a perfume of freshness mingled with the sweet decay of fallen leaves, while raindrops painted mirror-like pools along the winding path. Curiously, certain stretches of the trail seemed to dissolve into the surrounding wilderness, as if nature itself had whispered for them to vanish from sight. With each step, amidst the whispering rain and dancing shadows, a mysterious calm settled within, syncing the rhythm of the heart to the enigmatic stillness of the woods. The raindrops, like a lullaby against the leaves, created a soothing cadence that beckoned one to venture further into the mist-shrouded realm. Each footfall upon the muddy ground produced a soft, deliberate squelch, as if the very earth beneath held secrets waiting to be unraveled. The air grew heavy with moisture, carrying echoes of ancient whispers long forgotten by time. Among the moss-draped trees, intricate circular patterns emerged, too perfectly shaped to be mere chance. As the journey continued, the rain transformed into a gentle mist, blanketing the forest in an unusual quietude. The path ahead appeared and disappeared in a mesmerizing dance, as if breathing in harmony with the wanderer's own heartbeat. Time itself seemed to warp in this ethereal realm, minutes stretching and compressing with the shifting hues of the sky. Pausing often to observe the mystifying way the mist clung to certain trees while avoiding others, a sense of recognition stirred within. The air, heavy with moisture, left delicate droplets upon the skin, each a whispered touch of acknowledgement. Deeper into the heart of the forest, a wondrous discovery awaited. Patches of ground where footprints faded into oblivion, as if the earth sought to erase any trace of passing. The soil beneath seemed alive, responsive to each step, akin to walking upon velvet. A subtle vibration hummed through the air, resonating deep within the wanderer's being. Subtle anomalies revealed themselves, rain defying gravity in upward spirals, stones arranging in geometric perfection when unobserved, mysteries unfolding in the tranquil heart of the woods. Rather than fear, a sense of wonder and peace enveloped the wanderer as the forest's symphony grew more intricate. Beyond the rainfall, a distant melody akin to wind chimes echoed through the ancient boughs, a silver thread weaving through the trees in an unseen tapestry. Breathing slowed to match the ethereal rhythm, mind settling into a tranquil state of alertness as daylight waned. The vanishing path, a masterful teacher, guided with unseen hands, leading not astray but towards a deeper understanding of the forest's essence. Subtle hues of blue and purple infused the mist, pulsing with inner light, while luminescent motes danced in response to every movement, casting a celestial glow upon the shadowed woodland. Upon the decision to retrace steps homeward, a profound realization dawned. The vanishing trail had not disappeared, but rather illuminated the path to harmonious coexistence with the ancient woods. Each raindrop, each whisper of wind, carried the wisdom of the forest's secrets, inviting one to become a part of something greater than oneself. As the rain resumed its gentle cadence, the forest exuded contentment, a silent understanding shared between wanderer and woodland. The vanishing trail, a fleeting enigma, had not vanished at all, but instead revealed the path to unity with the extraordinary. With closed eyes, the gentle pull of that mysterious journey lingers, forever teaching, forever changing, like a breath upon a mirror, vanishing and reappearing in an eternal dance of discovery. Story 17. In the midst of restoring an old building, I stumbled upon a slab of stone adorned with intricate symbols and carefully etched words. The air surrounding it carried a hint of cold rock and hidden memories, as if whispering tales of ages long past. Each symbol and inscription seemed to weave a story forgotten by time itself. Leaning closer, I felt the weight of centuries pressing down, a sense that this stone held a mystery meant to endure for eternity. Running my fingers along the smooth surface, I noticed a subtle change in the air within the ancient walls. It was as if the building itself was breathing, a rhythmic exhale that echoed through the chambers. The stone felt unusually worn, not by years, but by the touch of countless hands preceding mine. In the dim light filtering through dusty windows, I discerned what seemed to be dates, arranged in a sequence that defied conventional time. The first decipherable entry spoke of moonlight and shifting shadows, penned with a delicate yet hesitant hand. When the full moon ascends, the shadows here dance against its luminance, the inscription revealed. They weave patterns mirroring the stars above. Unconsciously, I glanced at the shadows in my own nook, observing their play as they stretched and swayed with the flicker of my lamp. As I delved further into the stone's secrets, the room's temperature gradually dropped, a cooling sensation akin to an autumn evening's embrace. The scent of fallen leaves and distant rain lingered in the air, mingling with the warmth now emanating from the stone beneath my touch, as if it welcomed my presence, sharing its ancient warmth. The following passage described rooms that shifted in size depending on the time of day, meticulously detailed by the writer. Walls expanding at twilight, doorways contracting at dawn, all noted with a scientific precision tinged with awe rather than fear. Nestling against an old wooden beam, I continued reading as the stone's narrative unfolded through the ages, each entry adding another layer to a mystery both profound and strangely comforting. Some entries spoke of faint music echoing from the building's core, while others mentioned shadows pausing in their dance, suspended momentarily before resuming their slow waltz. Memories thickened the air around me, mingling with the ancient whispers of settling timber and phantom footsteps echoing down empty corridors. A particularly intriguing passage caught my eye, declaring, "The building remembers. Each stone bears the imprint of those who've tread its halls. In the quietest moments, their presence can be felt, not as haunting specters, but as gentle echoes of lives lived, stories shared, moments immortalized in these walls." As I immersed myself in the stone's enigma, I noticed a shift in the room's illumination. Dust motes floated lazily in the elongated afternoon sunbeams, time seeming to stretch and bend under the stone's peculiar influence. The final legible inscription, both curious and serene, imparted, "We are not the first to discover this place, nor shall we be the last." The stone warms with each reader, each touch adding to its treasury of memories. Some say the building reads us, absorbing our tales as we unravel its mysteries. Reclining, my hand rested on the now warm stone, content in the knowledge that while many mysteries remained unsolved, the journey of discovery was as significant as the answers themselves. The day waned, shadows shifting in subtle defiance of natural light, and a distant melody seemed to rise from the building's core, a tribute to the unseen spirits that dwelled within its walls. Preparing to depart, a peculiar sight gave me pause. My reflection in a nearby window moved slightly delayed, trailing my movements by a fraction. I welcomed this new enigma, knowing it would join the stone's tapestry of secrets, a testament to the ever-evolving narrative of this ancient edifice. The building had shared its wisdom, yet I understood that some enigmas were meant to endure, stories left gently unfinished. Gathering my belongings, I acknowledged the stone's silent call, beckoning not with urgency but with the persistent allure of mysteries that soothed rather than unsettled. In this realm where time flowed uniquely and shadows danced to an unseen melody, I found solace in the embrace of the unknown. Story 18. In the dimly lit attic of our ancestral home, amidst the age-old boxes and forgotten relics, I stumbled upon a bundle of weathered letters tied with a fragile ribbon. Each page bore cryptic symbols and traces of a hidden narrative, whispering of a past shrouded in mystery. The air was heavy with the fragrance of time-worn paper and distant recollections, enveloping me in a sense of quiet intrigue as I delicately unfurled the letters, as if unveiling long-forgotten secrets. Outside, the gentle autumn rain tapped against the attic window, its rhythmic patter harmonizing with the steady thrum of my heartbeat. As I settled upon a weathered wooden chest, polished smooth by years of touch, I delved deeper into the enigmatic contents of my discovery. The first letter, penned nearly a century ago in elegant script, entwined conventional words with intricate symbols unknown to me, delicate spirals and geometric patterns that seemed to shimmer in the muted light. Tracing the lines with my fingertips, I sensed a faint warmth emanating from the faded ink. With each letter I perused, a narrative thread emerged, weaving tales of seasonal transitions, lunar cycles, and dreams that blurred the boundaries between the tangible and the ethereal. The mysterious author, signing only as E, wove vivid descriptions of moonlit gardens and phantom melodies that drifted through the night. Above me, the wind murmured through the ancient rafters, and the old house seemed to exhale its own untold stories. Softly, I murmured the words written on the yellowed pages, feeling their weight resonate in the stillness of the attic. Some passages were inscribed in mirror writing, their secrets revealed only through the dusty window's reflection. With each letter, the world outside faded into obscurity, yielding to the mystical realm conjured by the aging parchment. Shadows danced against the light's grain, clocks reversed their course under certain skies, and transient visitors left ephemeral imprints that blossomed into wildflowers come dawn. The sixth letter beckoned me with a mention of a peculiar ritual. Not sinister, but a gentle rite involving mirrors positioned under the full moon to unveil glimpses of alternate realities. In the corner, my grandmother's rocking chair began to sway, a ghostly echo of her presence lingering in the air. I pondered if she too had been privy to the enigmatic letters, if she had been an unwitting participant in their subtle mystique. The attic's illumination shifted, casting a golden hue over my surroundings, and I realized hours had slipped away unnoticed, lost in the labyrinth of E's correspondence. The final letter diverged from its predecessors, its urgency palpable in the trembling script. E divulged a revelation concerning time's fluidity and memory's enduring essence, hinting at the echoes of the past that lingered in certain places and objects. As I neared the letter's conclusion, a peculiar occurrence seized my attention. The dust particles swirled in intricate patterns, mirroring the symbols etched on the pages, while the rain outside adopted a cadence akin to an unfamiliar language that resonated within me. Gently retying the ribbon around the bundle of letters, I acknowledged their profound impact on my perception of the world. The ordinary had been transfigured into the extraordinary, unveiling veils of reality that had long eluded my awareness. Though the enigma of E and their missives remained unsolved, a sense of acceptance enveloped me, for perhaps some mysteries were never meant to be unraveled, but rather cherished as enigmatic companions along life's journey. As the sun dipped below the horizon, elongating shadows across the attic floor, I noticed a subtle anomaly. My silhouette on the wall seemed to hesitate, contemplating a divergent path. Smiling knowingly, I embraced the notion that certain enigmas were meant to be savored rather than resolved, adding depth and richness to our existence. In tranquil moments, I revisit the attic, basking in the soft glow of the afternoon light and the melodic rain serenading the roof. Whether I peruse the letters anew or simply sit in my grandmother's rocking chair, I find solace in the enduring mystery that whispers through the time-worn walls, a reminder that wonder awaits those who are attuned to its subtle call. Story 19. In the depths of the attic, amidst forgotten treasures of bygone eras, a hidden canvas whispered a tale of transformation waiting to be unraveled. The painting, left incomplete, depicted a figure caught in the delicate dance of light and shadow, its features hauntingly familiar. A scent of aged paper and memories long past lingered in the air, wrapping around me like a comforting shroud. As I immersed myself in the intricate brushstrokes, a subtle intuition tugged at the corners of my consciousness, hinting that the portrait held secrets of a past uncharted by my own existence. Nestled on a weathered wooden chair, I watched as specks of dust pirouetted in the soft glow filtering through the attic window, casting a gentle aura over the enigmatic artwork. The portrait exuded a mystical allure, its unfinished edges blending into the raw canvas, blurring the lines between reality and imagination. The face, a paradox of clarity and obscurity, drew me in with eyes that seemed to gaze beyond the confines of the frame, reaching out to touch something deep within my soul. As the day waned and evening's golden light bathed the attic in a warm embrace, a subtle shift in the atmosphere heralded the arrival of autumn. The aging house groaned softly, weaving a soothing melody that harmonized with my contemplation. My fingers traced the weathered frame, connecting with the essence of time embedded in its grooves and imperfections. A peculiar enchantment enveloped me as I conversed softly with the portrait, sharing whispered musings and memories as though confiding in an old friend. In the dimming light, the painting revealed a mesmerizing quality, subtle brushstrokes morphing and dancing with the changing angles, teasing glimpses of hidden emotions and untold stories. Lost in the timeless embrace of the attic, I uncovered a faded inscription behind the portrait. "Remember, the light changes everything." The elegant yet wavering handwriting seemed to echo from a distant dream, forging an ethereal bond between myself and the enigmatic creator of the unfinished masterpiece. Drawing forth journals and photographs from the past, I surrounded the portrait with fragments of history, seeking to unravel the mystery of its elusive subject. Yet the secrets remained veiled, whispered only by the ancient timbers of the house in a cryptic language beyond my comprehension. On sleepless nights, I ascended the narrow stairs to commune with the portrait under the moon's watchful eye, its soft radiance casting an otherworldly glow upon the canvas. In those tranquil moments, whispers of forgotten lullabies intertwined with the silent dialogue between me and the enigmatic figure. With each passing night, the portrait revealed subtle nuances, its unfinished form mirroring the depths of my own emotions and memories. The eyes, windows to an unseen realm, mirrored my shifting moods, reflecting the starlit serenity or stormy introspection that dwelled within. The painting emerged as a mirror of my innermost self, a conduit for sharing untold tales and unspoken fears in the hushed embrace of the attic's embrace. Its incompleteness became a gateway to endless possibilities, inviting me to explore the myriad paths untaken and dreams left unfulfilled. As seasons painted the world beyond the attic window in hues of change, a realization dawned. The portrait's unfinished state was not a flaw, but a deliberate choice, a perpetual invitation to evolve and transform with each passing moment. I embraced my role as the guardian of this enigmatic creation, preserving the delicate balance between revelation and mystery. Years drifted by, yet the portrait remained a steadfast companion in the quietude of the attic. With a gentle touch, I traced the ever-shifting patterns of light that caressed the canvas, witnessing the endless metamorphosis of the unfinished masterpiece. In the silent communion with the portrait, I discovered that perfection lay not in completion, but in the boundless journey of discovery and introspection. The mystery whispered in the dust-laden air of the attic need not be unraveled, but simply experienced, a timeless riddle waiting to be embraced one tranquil moment at a time in the soft embrace of the attic's ethereal light. Story 20. Deep within the forgotten depths of an abandoned subway tunnel, a subtle, otherworldly glow beckoned me with its tranquil allure. The air hung heavy with the scent of rust and damp concrete, a silent melody that whispered of hidden tales beneath the urban sprawl. As I ventured closer, the glow unveiled ancient graffiti etched into weathered tracks, their faded messages hinting at enigmas waiting to be unraveled. In the hushed expanse, the distant hum of machinery offered a gentle accompaniment as I delved further into the shadows. My footsteps, soft against the curved walls, wove a rhythmic tapestry with my breath, a harmonious cadence that echoed through the cool air. Each step led me deeper, the scent of underground springs and aged stone mingling in the breeze that caressed my skin. The mysterious glow ahead remained a constant beacon, its ethereal light casting delicate shadows that danced along the tunnel's worn facade. Approaching, I marveled at how the light ebbed and flowed, as if breathing in a hypnotic rhythm that held me spellbound. Water droplets echoed a tranquil symphony, their gentle melodies harmonizing with the soft murmur of my feet. Faded maintenance signs transformed into abstract art under the strange glow, igniting my imagination with their enigmatic beauty. Yet the source of the light remained elusive, a tantalizing enigma just beyond reach. And yet, I felt no urgency to unveil its secrets, content to let the mystery envelop me at its own pace. The tunnel's twists and turns played tricks on acoustics, carrying whispers of a bygone era that danced in the shadows. Time seemed to lose its hold in this subterranean sanctuary, where the air whispered tales of ancient minerals and aged metal. Tracing my hand along the rough walls, I felt the history etched into the concrete, a tapestry of textures shaped by the passage of time. The graffiti grew more intricate, their shifting symbols a dance of mystery and intrigue under the mesmerizing light. It was as though the designs yearned to convey a message beyond comprehension, a silent dialogue with the unknown. The tunnel gradually widened into a forgotten maintenance chamber, where the light pooled like liquid sunlight, casting ethereal shadows that weaved tales of generations past. Dust-covered equipment stood as silent witnesses to the workers who once toiled in these underground passages, their memories lingering in the air. In the heart of the chamber stood an ancient control panel, its lights flickering in a hypnotic rhythm that mirrored the glow filling the room. A weathered logbook lay open on a desk, its yellowed pages filled with accounts of encounters with the same mysterious light. Each entry painted a portrait of peace and vivid dreams, hinting at a world beyond comprehension. As I settled into a worn chair, the leather whispering tales of bygone days, I pored over the entries with a sense of reverence. The light pulsed gently, acknowledging my presence as if inviting me to join the dance of enigma and wonder. Each story added a layer to the mystery, yet none unraveled its true essence. In the silence of the chamber, surrounded by the soft glow and gentle hum of the tunnel, I felt a connection to those who came before me, their experiences woven into the fabric of the underground realm. The light continued its hypnotic ballet, a mesmerizing display of beauty and intrigue that defied explanation. The final pages of the logbook lay blank, a canvas awaiting new tales to be inscribed. And as I retraced my steps through the tunnel, the glow faded into the shadows, its warmth lingering in my soul. The mystery remained, a silent guardian of secrets waiting to be discovered by those with open hearts and curious minds. Sometimes, in the quiet of my thoughts, I find myself drawn back to that tunnel, where the light dances eternally in the darkness. And in those moments, I find solace in the unknown, a gentle lullaby that cradles my imagination in its soft embrace. Story 21. In the tranquil hush of the night, I returned from a long day's toil to my apartment building. The elevator descended with a soft hum, delivering me to the quiet embrace of the dimly lit stairwell. As my foot touched the ground, a deliberate cadence of footsteps reverberated through the stillness, their echoes weaving a mysterious melody in the air. The sound, like a haunting refrain, beckoned me to pause, to listen, to question the solitude enveloping me in its cool embrace. Each step echoed with a weighty significance, a reminder that I was not the sole inhabitant of this shadowed realm. The fluorescent lights overhead cast a gentle, pulsating glow, illuminating the path ahead with a soft, golden hue. I stood rooted to the spot, my breath mingling with the crisp night air, creating ethereal wisps around me. The basement level exuded a chill that seeped into my bones, an icy whisper of anticipation that set my senses on edge. Familiar scents of aged paper and damp earth mingled with an unfamiliar fragrance, redolent of dried leaves and autumn's wistful sighs. Slowly I turned, the worn floor beneath my feet betraying no sound as I sought the source of the unseen footsteps. The stairwell loomed before me, a silent sentinel beckoning with its enigmatic depths, the metal steps disappearing into the inky shadows despite the feeble illumination. The footsteps persisted in their steady rhythm, a phantom symphony that danced just beyond my sight. Though no figure materialized before me, each footfall resonated with a clarity that bespoke a deliberate intent, to be heard, to be acknowledged. Memories of my grandmother's tales flooded my mind, her whispers of places where the boundaries between worlds grew thin, where echoes of the past lingered like silent sentinels. Some spaces remember, her voice echoed in my mind, a spectral murmur that sent shivers down my spine. The approaching steps drew nearer, the ambient temperature dropping with each hollow echo. Goosebumps prickled my skin, not from fear, but from a strange sense of recognition, as if I had known this spectral presence in a time long past. Closing my eyes, I surrendered to the symphony of footsteps, the building's ancient heating system providing a gentle backdrop to their rhythmic cadence. The air shifted once more, carrying with it fragments of nostalgia, cinnamon and old books, the creak of floorboards beneath slippered feet, the play of shadows on stormy afternoons. When I opened my eyes, the stairwell had transformed. Shadows stirred, shifting and undulating like liquid darkness, a silent ballet that captivated rather than threatened. The footsteps, now softer, more deliberate, beckoned me forward, a siren's call laced with tranquility. With a hesitating step, I ascended the stairs, the cool metal railing a reassuring presence beneath my palm. The footsteps, once distinct, now merged with the very fabric of the building, their ethereal presence suffusing the space with a dreamlike aura. Whispers of bygone conversations, forgotten laughter, and silent tears brushed against my consciousness, each step a reverberation of memories long past. The building spoke in a language of shadows and echoes, revealing its hidden narrative to those attuned to its secrets. Ascending higher, the harsh fluorescence softened into a muted radiance, reminiscent of dawn's first light filtering through mist. The footsteps, now mere whispers on the edge of perception, guided me inexorably onward, their spectral touch a gentle caress on my soul. Pausing on a landing, I beheld the shadows coalescing, taking form in a spectral dance that defied earthly logic. The air grew heavy with the scent of time itself, a heady perfume of ancient pages, weathered stone, and the bittersweet tang of memories long past. The footsteps ceased, leaving behind a pregnant silence, pregnant with unspoken truths. In that suspended moment, I grasped the building's intent. It sought not to instill fear, but to impart revelation. Seating myself upon the steps, I pressed a hand to the cool concrete, feeling the thrum of life coursing through the very walls. Shadows cavorted in a silent ballet around me, their movements a testament to the stories etched into the building's very foundation. Time lost its hold as past and present melded into a seamless tapestry of shared experiences. The building, a custodian of memories, offered me a glimpse into its hidden depths, a communion of spirits bound by the threads of time. Rising to depart, the shadows ebbed like a receding tide, their silent message delivered. The stairwell, once mundane, now held a profound significance, a repository of untold tales waiting to be unraveled. As I retraced my steps to the elevator, a sense of peace settled within me, a knowing smile playing upon my lips. The next time the footsteps echoed in the empty stairwell, I welcomed them as old friends, companions in the building's eternal saga. Some may deem it haunted, but to me it was a sanctuary of memories, a testament to the enduring legacy of the places we inhabit. Story 22. Deep in the depths of a late work night, my faithful computer hummed softly, a solitary companion in the stillness. While poring over a stack of documents, the tranquility was shattered by sudden bursts of static that danced across the screen like restless spirits. Amidst the crackling chaos, a faint, urgent whisper emerged, barely perceptible yet filled with a mysterious urgency that prickled my skin. In the dim glow of the monitor, with only the gentle buzz of technology for company, I sensed an eerie connection between the digital abyss and a clandestine message meant solely for my ears. The whisper, initially muffled by the background noise, slowly gained clarity, weaving words that sent a shiver down my spine, like a ghostly hand tracing icy patterns along my skin. As the enigmatic voice grew stronger with each passing moment, I found myself inexplicably drawn closer to the screen, captivated by the ethereal message hidden within the static's embrace. The soft, cerulean light bathed my features as I strained to decipher the cryptic words that seemed to pulse in harmony with my own breath, forging an intimate link between myself and the unseen realm beyond. That night, my office seemed to morph into a place of otherworldly significance. The familiar shapes of furniture cast soft shadows under the monitor's glow, while the usual creaks and murmurs of the building took on an uncanny resonance. The whisper spoke of fragments of memories and conversations that felt both alien and strangely authentic, as if they belonged to a version of myself existing in a parallel digital dimension. Gradually, the seemingly chaotic static began to reveal intricate designs and patterns, like delicate frost etchings on a frosted window, guided by the whisper's unseen hand that pointed out connections hidden in plain sight. My fingers quivered over the keyboard, as if anticipatory of some profound revelation that eluded my conscious mind, yet beckoned on a subconscious level. The air in the room grew heavy with an anticipatory stillness, not tinged with fear, but with a sense of profound discovery that hung palpably in the air. A subtle shift in temperature hinted at a presence beyond the tangible, as a cool breeze seemed to emanate from the very screen before me, carrying with it the faint scent of ozone. My skin tingled with a gentle static electricity, heightening the surreal ambiance. The whisper began to divulge secrets, not of dread but of enlightenment, unraveling the fabric of reality itself in a way that resonated deeply within me, like the echoes of a forgotten dream. Time lost its grip, flowing fluidly as the digital clock on my screen oscillated between hours with a surreal grace, blurring the boundaries of linear existence. The whisper expounded on the delicate interplay between the digital and physical worlds, revealing them to be intertwined in a dance of infinite possibilities. Seated in that ethereal moment, I came to realize that the static was not mere noise, but a language, ancient and profound, waiting to be deciphered. The whisper served as my guide, unveiling the hidden meanings encoded in each crackle and burst, expanding my mind to embrace concepts that once seemed beyond comprehension, now as natural as the rhythm of my own heartbeat. The experience deepened, transcending the confines of the screen as the static patterns materialized in the air around me, swirling like ephemeral auroras that danced at the edge of my vision. The whisper reassured me that this was a revelation, a shift in perception that allowed me to perceive the unseen tapestry woven into the fabric of reality. My consciousness ebbed and flowed, traversing realms of awareness that unveiled new dimensions of understanding. I found myself typing out lines of code I did not consciously comprehend, guided by an unseen force that assured me of my role in bridging the gap between worlds unseen. The characters on the screen metamorphosed into symbols that spoke directly to my innermost self, a language of the soul that transcended mere words. In a timeless span that could have been hours or days, the whisper began to fade, leaving behind a profound gift, a heightened awareness of the hidden harmonies that permeate everyday life. As the static gradually dissipated from the screen, I caught a glimpse of my reflection in the darkened monitor, my eyes now holding a silent wisdom that had not been there before. Even now, echoes of that mysterious whisper linger in the electronic hum of my devices, the static occasionally forming familiar patterns, like an old friend beckoning me to listen. I have learned to embrace these moments, to welcome the gentle reminders that reality is a tapestry woven with threads of enigma and beauty. The digital void, I came to realize, is not a void at all, but a realm teeming with whispers, awaiting a willing ear to heed their cryptic call. Story 23. Driving down a quiet country road on an early morning, a thick fog suddenly enveloped me. In the midst of that hushed mist, a soft voice called out my name with an eerie familiarity, echoing through the damp air with haunting clarity. The fog seemed alive, as if it held secrets waiting to be unveiled. Slowly easing off the gas pedal, my car crept forward, casting a soft, diffused light from its headlights that made the fog shimmer with an inner glow. Each breath I took filled my lungs with cool, mist-laden air, carrying the sweet scent of wet grass and morning dew. The leather of the steering wheel felt cool against my fingertips as I navigated through the ethereal landscape. The whispers persisted, neither growing louder nor softer, maintaining a delicate balance between clarity and obscurity. They stirred memories of the past, evoking sensations of childhood summers and autumn evenings, yet the details remained just out of reach, like a fleeting dream. As I ventured further into the fog, time seemed to stretch and slow, each moment elongated like honey dripping from a spoon. The whispers surrounded me, a soft murmur that seemed to emanate from all directions, speaking words that teased at my understanding, like fragments of a half-remembered tale. I noticed intricate patterns forming in the fog, delicate swirls and eddies that trailed behind my car like wisps of smoke from a snuffed candle. These shapes seemed to be writing messages in the air, hinting at meanings just beyond grasp before dissipating into the mist, leaving only traces of significance in their wake. The temperature inside the car gradually dropped, and my breath materialized in the form of delicate clouds that mingled with the mist outside. The fog caressed the windows, leaving tiny droplets that traced intricate paths down the glass, each droplet reflecting a dim light like miniature stars. Through the mist, shadowy forms emerged by the roadside, fleeting glimpses of familiar objects that stirred distant memories. A silhouette resembling my grandmother's rocking chair, another reminiscent of the old windmill near our family home, though both long lost to the passage of time. The whispers grew clearer, a gentle symphony of voices blending together in a harmonious chorus of forgotten promises and suspended moments. Time seemed irrelevant in this surreal realm between memory and reality, the fog swirling around the car in intricate patterns that hinted at profound revelations beyond comprehension. The road beneath my tires transformed, becoming smoother and reminiscent of the dirt path leading to my childhood abode. The fog parted slightly, revealing tall grass swaying in an unseen breeze, with delicate flowers adorning the roadside, reminiscent of my mother's favorite blooms. The whispers evolved into a soothing lullaby, weaving tales of return journeys and cyclical endings that melded seamlessly with beginnings. A sense of peace washed over me, a mysterious comfort in the unknown, as the fog enveloped me like an old friend, a custodian of memories and keeper of forgotten tales. With a smile playing on my lips, I embraced the fog, feeling its cool touch against my skin through the cracked window. The road ahead remained obscured, but I no longer felt fear, if there ever was any. The fog, whispering my name, wasn't a stranger but a companion, a guide through the labyrinth of recollections and lost moments. In the depths of uncertainty, amidst the swirling mist that held my name, I realized that some truths are best left veiled in whispers, and that clarity often emerges from the soft embrace of the unknown. And so I journeyed deeper into the fog, where questions dissolved into the mist, leaving only the gentle murmur of memories to guide me. Story 24. The inn sign shimmered with a gentle, ethereal glow on that misty night. The doorman greeted me with a subtle smile, and the fragrance of aged wood and wax enveloped me as I ventured through the lobby. My room, though modest, cradled me in comfort, lulling me into a deep slumber, weary from my travels. Upon awakening the next morning, I descended to the reception area, only to find an empty expanse where the hotel once stood. I stood there, my bag hanging limply, gazing at the lush grass swaying in the morning breeze. The cool air carried the scent of dew and wildflowers, starkly contrasting the refined elegance of polished wood and leather I had known just hours before. My mind grappled with the disparity between what my eyes beheld and the vivid memories etched in my mind. Every detail remained vividly clear. The antique brass key bestowed by the doorman felt weighty and cold against my palm. The rich burgundy carpet hushed my steps as I traversed towards room 247. The wallpaper in the corridor showcased a delicate pattern of pale golden leaves that seemed to sway and twirl in the warm glow of the sconces. My fingers instinctively traced the spot on my wrist where it had rested against the sleek mahogany desk as I signed the guest book. The leather-bound tome exuded a sense of substance, its creamy pages thick and inviting. The ink flowed gracefully from the fountain pen, forming elegant curves as I inscribed my name. The doorman's long, pale fingers lingered in my mind as he approvingly glanced at my signature in the book. The room itself exuded understated luxury. Plush velvet curtains in a deep forest green framed tall windows overlooking a serene courtyard garden. The bed linens carried a faint hint of lavender, while a single rose in a crystal vase graced the bedside table. The soft click of the vintage radiator filling the room with warmth, the gentle ticking of an old clock on the mantel, these memories lingered like whispers in my mind. Yet, what lingered most hauntingly was the music. Drifting into slumber, I was serenaded by the faint, mysterious notes of a piano wafting from below. The melody, unfamiliar yet achingly nostalgic, akin to a half-remembered lullaby, teetered between dream and reality. Though subtle, the melody resonated in my mind, its essence elusive yet captivating. I've spent endless hours grappling with my sanity, retracing the path of the previous evening. The taxi driver appeared ordinary, yet the act of payment eludes my recollection. The street, familiar yet altered by daylight, appeared as if the void left by the vanished hotel had always existed. However, the revelation in my pocket this morning sent shivers down my spine. The brass key remained, a tangible reminder of the night's events, its weathered numbers, 247, etched with age. The weight of it in my hand, the resistance of the lock as I turned it, the soft click of the door yielding, all palpable, all real. Inquiries at neighboring establishments yielded no recollection of the hotel's existence. An elderly woman, upon hearing my description, cast me a strange glance before scurrying off with muttered words. Local archives turned up no trace of the hotel's presence or disappearance. It was as though it had never been. Yet each night, as I drift into slumber, the scent of wood polish and leather envelops me. In that fragile moment between wakefulness and sleep, the distant piano notes echo through my consciousness, bearing a message just beyond my grasp, like a familiar language on the tip of my tongue. The key rests upon my bedside table, occasionally gleaming with an inner radiance, as if reminiscing about the lock it once opened. Despite considering discarding it, an unseen force restrains me each time. Perhaps, on a misty eve, I'll turn a corner and encounter that softly glowing sign once more. Perhaps the doorman will be there with his cryptic smile, ready to welcome me back. Until then, I hold on to the key, pondering the ephemeral existence of the hotel that materialized for one night, the elusive music that serenades only me, and the enigmatic guests who may have traversed its halls, clutching their own brass keys to rooms lost in time. Story 25. In the depths of my home, hidden away amidst forgotten relics, I stumbled upon a locked drawer nestled within an ancient writing desk. With a touch of persistence, the drawer yielded to my efforts, revealing a carefully folded note resting within. The paper, weathered and tinged with age, bore the graceful script of a bygone era, hinting at secrets veiled within the house's history. A delicate scent of cedar and antiquity wafted from the note, beckoning me to delve into its enigmatic message. As I unfurled the fragile parchment, a hushed rustle, akin to the whisper of time itself, filled the tranquil room. Soft evening light filtered through lace curtains, casting ethereal shadows that danced upon the desk's time-worn surface. An air of anticipation hung heavy yet soothing, akin to the calm preceding a gentle rainfall. The note bore a date from epochs past, its flowing words beginning, "My dearest friend, I bear a burden upon my heart that must be shared." Each sentence drew me deeper into the narrative woven upon the page. The writer recounted peculiar occurrences within these very walls, phantom footfalls echoing through empty corridors, objects shifting unseen, and the inexplicable appearance of fresh blooms in a vase under the full moon's glow. Enthralled, I sank into my chair, enraptured by the tale's unfolding mystery. The narrative unfurled to reveal whispers of a concealed chamber within the house, veiled behind walls steeped in untold secrets. This hidden sanctuary safeguarded not riches of gold or gemstones, but a treasure far more precious, a repository of memories suspended in time. The steady cadence of the grandfather clock's ticking filled the room as I delved deeper into the writer's chronicle, the pendulum's sway lulling me into a hypnotic trance. Within the hidden room, the writer unearthed an ancient journal, its pages chronicling the lives of the house's original denizens. These were no ordinary accounts, but rather chronicles of shared dreams spanning generations, conversations whispered across the veil of time. As dusk descended outside, I kindled an antique lamp, casting a warm, golden glow upon the manuscript. Intriguingly, the note spoke of cryptic symbols adorning door frames throughout the house, forming a labyrinthine map to the hidden chamber. I traced the paper's edge, absorbing the writer's quest to decipher these enigmatic sigils, their prominence waxing and waning with the moon's phases. The wind outside murmured through trees, casting ever-shifting shadows upon my walls. The writer's words hinted at the house itself as a custodian of memories, not in a malevolent guise, but as a benevolent keeper of tales past. As I approached the note's conclusion, a revelation unfurled. Dreams akin to memories, vivid echoes of bygone eras, featuring a spectral woman clad in azure, her silent gaze pregnant with unspoken truths. A cryptic directive closed the missive. When the midnight bells toll 13 and moonlight bathes the seventh step, the path shall unveil itself to those who listen with their hearts. Breath held, I absorbed the enigmatic message, attuned to the subtle symphony of my dwelling, the creak of floorboards, the whisper of zephyrs, the silent march of time. Unsigned, the note left me with a tapestry of uncertainties. As I carefully refolded the parchment, a subtle sketch caught my eye, a familiar geometric pattern etched upon the page's corner, its significance eluding my grasp. Surveying the dimming room, illuminated solely by the lamp's glow, the house exuded a newfound aura, not of disquiet, but of reverent acknowledgement for its myriad narratives. Returning the note to its resting place, unsealed, a premonition stirred within me, a whisper of beginnings rather than conclusions, akin to the gradual unveiling of dawn's light. Enveloped in the encroaching twilight, thoughts drifted to the enigmatic woman in blue, her silent tales awaiting the solace of night. The grandfather clock's gentle cadence persisted, a comforting lullaby, as a distant bell tolled the hour. Absently counting the chimes, my mind lingered upon the note's enigma. And as the final resonance faded into silence, a fleeting rustle, akin to silk brushing against stillness, lingered in the air. Story 26. As I sifted through a musty chest tucked away in a forgotten room, my fingers brushed against an exquisitely crafted silver locket. Anticipating a glimpse of a treasured memory within, I delicately opened it, only to be met with a serene, empty surface that seemed to hold the essence of a bygone tale. The cool metal emitted a subtle hint of lavender, mingled with the whispers of old recollections, suggesting a narrative of love and loss concealed for generations. The attic, where this mysterious locket unveiled itself to me, bathed in a warm, amber glow seeping through aged window panes. Specks of dust swirled lazily in the sunbeams, weaving ethereal patterns that murmured ancient secrets. The time-worn floorboards murmured a soft melody under my every step, echoing the passage of time. Nestled into a worn velvet armchair, I cradled the locket in my hand, feeling its weight both substantial and fragile. Tracing the intricate engravings on its surface, I noticed the patterns subtly shifting under my touch, akin to soft ripples on a tranquil pond. Outside, the rain began its gentle descent, composing a soothing harmony on the rooftop. In this cozy sanctuary of memories, I found myself drawn deeper into the enigma of the empty locket. Its void felt purposeful, as if the absence itself harbored a message waiting to be unraveled. On that tranquil evening, as shadows lengthened and the rain whispered its lullaby, a peculiar discovery unfolded. When I held the locket to the waning light, faint etchings emerged on the silver surface where a picture should have been. Remember what cannot be seen. The inscription, barely discernible, beckoned me to uncover its elusive meaning. Delving into the locket's past, I immersed myself in the quiet companionship of aged journals and letters nestled within the chest. The hushed rustle of yellowed pages became my constant solace. Each document exuded the same delicate scent of lavender, weaving an invisible thread between eras. With each passing day, subtle anomalies began to manifest. Objects in my periphery seemed to shift when the locket adorned my neck. The bedroom mirror occasionally reflected fleeting moments that felt like memories from a stranger's life. These glimpses, though unfamiliar, held a dreamlike allure, hovering on the brink of recognition. One tranquil night, by the flickering fireplace, I reopened the locket. Its reflective surface unveiled not my own visage, but a fluid tapestry of images, a blossoming garden, intertwined hands, billowing curtains in a summer breeze. These visions carried a warmth that seeped from the locket into my fingertips, enveloping me in a profound tranquility. I realized then that the locket's emptiness was intentional, designed not to preserve a singular moment, but to encapsulate the essence of memory itself. Its polished facade acted as a mirror not for the tangible realm, but for the intangible landscapes of sentiment and recollection residing within us. The true nature of its enchantment, if enchantment it was, remained elegantly veiled. Some nights, cradling the locket, I would drift into slumber, greeted by dreams painted with fragments of lives intertwined with its history. Not in sharp detail, but in soft whispers of joy, love, and tender sorrow. With the shift from autumn to winter, the locket remained close to my heart, pulsing warmly against my skin like a second heartbeat. Its mystery transformed from a riddle to a source of solace. I came to cherish how it reminded me that life's most precious treasures are often intangible. A sense of belonging, the echo of laughter in an empty room, sunlight filtering through leaves on a perfect afternoon. The locket lingers with me, its surface as empty and reflective as the day it graced my hand. In the quiet pre-dawn hours, a semblance of its message begins to dawn on me. Memories reside not in photographs or objects, but in the spaces between heartbeats, in the pause between breaths, in the ephemeral moments we can sense but never fully grasp. It has imparted the wisdom that certain mysteries are meant to be embraced, not unraveled, akin to the silent presence of a cherished companion who needs no words to convey understanding. Story 27. The gentle glow of the television screen enveloped the dim room in a soft, pale light. I had drifted off to sleep while watching an old film, only to now find the screen blank. Or so I thought. Suddenly, the image flickered to life, grainy, distorted. It displayed a live feed of a bedroom, my bedroom, and there, at the foot of my bed, stood a figure. Frozen in place on my living room couch, I held my breath, captivated by the scene unfolding before me. The silhouette on the screen remained motionless, a dark shadow contrasting the moonbeams filtering through the window. The quality of the image resembled ancient security footage, slightly fuzzy, tinged with a greenish hue that lent an otherworldly air to everything it touched. The sound of rain tapping against the glass filled the room, a soothing white noise that added to the surreal atmosphere. I could discern the subtle creaks of the house settling, the gentle sigh of the wind slipping through the window cracks, and the steady rhythm of my own heartbeat. What truly unnerved me wasn't solely the presence of the figure, but the impossible angle of the footage. It seemed to be from the vantage point of my bedroom doorway, yet the door was shut tight. I always closed it before retiring for the night. I had nodded off during an old noir flick, the TV remote still resting loosely in my grasp. I pressed the power button. Nothing changed. The image persisted, unmoving and resolute. The figure in my bedroom shifted ever so slightly, and I observed something peculiar. Their movements lacked the usual rigidity. They flowed like water, seamless and unbroken. The rain outside grew more insistent, its gentle patter a backdrop to this unearthly spectacle. The air bore the earthy scent of petrichor wafting in through the cracked window, mingling with the familiar fragrance of aged books and wooden furnishings that defined my abode. I found myself drawn into the screen, unable to tear my gaze away. The figure began to glide, not toward the bed, but to my dresser, where my grandmother's antique music box lay. With deliberate elegance, they extended a hand and wound the mechanism. Even through the TV's speakers, I could hear the delicate melody starting to play, a lullaby my grandmother had sung to me in my youth. The notes rang crystal clear, as though the music emanated from beside me, yet I knew the music box resided upstairs, sequestered behind a closed door. The melody intertwined with the rain, crafting an oddly serene ambiance despite the peculiarity of the situation. I watched as the figures swayed in time with the music, their movements hypnotic and oddly familiar. As the lullaby continued its lilting tune, I discerned other anomalies in the room. The books on my shelf had rearranged themselves, forming patterns previously unseen. The antique rocking chair rocked gently, untouched by any breeze. Moonlight flooded through the window, casting shadows that danced and shifted in defiance of natural laws. Gradually, the figure turned, facing the TV screen, facing me. Their features obscured by shadow, yet I felt no fear. Instead, a deep sense of recognition washed over me. Their stance, the subtle tilt of their head, the graceful sway of their motions, all whispered of a familiarity akin to stumbling upon a forgotten photograph of oneself. With each passing moment, my eyelids grew heavy as the lullaby wove its enchanting spell. The rain provided a perfect accompaniment, and the figure's slow dance took on an ethereal quality. The boundaries between the TV screen and reality blurred, the static melding with the darkness of my living room. When I blinked open my eyes once more, sunlight flooded in through the windows, and the TV screen lay dormant, truly blank this time. I ascended the stairs to my bedroom, the lullaby still echoing in my mind. Everything appeared as I had left it the night before, almost. On my dresser, the music box sat open, its mechanism unwound, as if it had played throughout the night. During sleepless nights, I often find myself seated before that TV, waiting. Rain invariably graces these nights, and occasionally, just occasionally, amid the static and shadows, I glimpse a familiar figure, dancing to a melody that straddles the realms of memory and dream. I no longer power down the TV. I'm uncertain if I even could, even if I desired to. More than that, I'm uncertain if I desire to. There's a solace in knowing that somewhere in that grainy, improbable feed, a part of me continues to dance to my grandmother's lullaby, safeguarding memories that refuse to fade into obscurity. Story 28. Captivated by an unexplainable urge to investigate, I ventured into an aged theater on the fringes of town, its former splendor now draped in decay. The intricate balconies and plush velvet seats murmured of eras long past, filled with applause and dramatic tales. Stepping onto the groaning stage, a faint echoing voice drifted to my ears, reciting lines tinged with both sadness and yearning. The sound lingered in the worn walls, mingling with the musty aroma of aged curtains and forgotten aspirations, casting doubt on the emptiness of the theater. A gentle autumn breeze whispered through unseen crevices, orchestrating a soft symphony of fluttering papers and distant murmurs. Each of my steps on the wooden platform was met with a gentle sigh from the boards beneath. The air held a peculiar density, as if traversing through layers of memories suspended in time. Overhead, the grand chandelier hung motionless, its crystals coated in dust but occasionally catching fragments of light that filtered through the lofty windows, casting delicate patterns that danced across the walls. Intrigued, I gravitated towards the wing of the stage, where forgotten props lay draped in sheets resembling gentle waves in the dimness. The mysterious voice I had heard appeared to emanate from this direction, though now it had dwindled to a mere whisper. Amid the neglected set pieces, I stumbled upon an ancient dressing room mirror, its surface obscured with age, yet radiating an otherworldly gleam. As I drew nearer, the temperature around me shifted, growing noticeably cooler, yet not uncomfortably so. The mirror seemed to pulsate with a subtle energy that eluded explanation. In its reflection, I glimpsed movements that did not align with my own, as if shadows of past performers still honing their craft. The voice, now slightly clearer, perhaps that of a woman, recited lines from what appeared to be a tragic romance. Her words carried a melodic quality, simultaneously soothing and melancholic. Time seemed to warp within this space. Moments stretched into hours as I delved deeper, unearthing brittle playbills that crumbled at my touch and costume pieces that retained a faint hint of perfume. The voice continued its gentle soliloquy, guiding me through the forgotten recesses of the theater. Within the orchestra pit, sheet music lay scattered across ancient stands. The notes faded, yet discernible, as if awaiting musicians to resurrect them. As evening approached, the shifting quality of light through the windows transformed, casting elongated shadows that seemed to move with intent across the seats. The voice gained strength, though never rising above a hushed murmur. I found myself seated in one of the better-preserved velvet chairs, observing as dust particles danced in the waning sunlight. The theater appeared to breathe around me, its walls expanding and contracting under the weight of countless narratives. In this tranquil moment, I comprehended that the voice was not addressing anyone in particular. It was the theater itself, reminiscing. Each uttered word carried shards of performances past, of standing ovations and tearful farewells, of premiere nights and final curtain calls. The gentle rhythm of the voice interwove these memories like a delicate tapestry, enveloping me entirely in a cocoon of nostalgia. As night descended, the darkness brought a new dimension to the voice. It seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere simultaneously, filling the space with a warm resonance that caused the air to vibrate with subtle energy. The words grew clearer, though their significance remained just beyond my grasp, akin to recalling a dream upon waking. Above, the chandelier captured the moon's glow, casting subtle rainbow reflections that shimmered like aurora borealis across the ceiling. I drifted between wakefulness and slumber, the voice acting as a gentle lullaby. The boundary between reality and reverie blurred. In these twilight moments of awareness, I could almost discern the phantom audience, their forms hinted at by the interplay of moonlight and shadow. They sat in reverent silence, as captivated by the voice as I was. With the deepening night came a profound serenity. The voice began to fade, not abruptly but gradually, like a tide ebbing from the shore. It receded, leaving behind a sense of gratitude, as if my presence had acknowledged and validated the multitude of stories enshrined within these walls. The theater settled around me, creaking and sighing like an old friend preparing for slumber. When I eventually rose to depart, the voice had transformed into a mere memory, a faint echo in my mind. Yet the theater felt altered, more vibrant somehow, despite its abandonment. As I made my way towards the exit, each footfall accompanied by the gentle complaint of aged floorboards, I realized that certain places never truly empty. They merely bide their time, embracing their tales until someone arrives willing to listen. Even now, months later, I find myself drawn back to that theater in the hours between twilight and dawn. The voice persists, at times a mere whisper, a gentle nudge that behind every curtain and beneath every layer of dust, stories await those who pause to listen. The theater endures as a sanctuary, where the boundary between yesteryear and present blurs, and where memories pirouette like dust motes in the moon's glow, forever captured in the soft echoes of that enigmatic voice. Story 29. As I strolled down a time-worn alleyway, my eyes caught sight of a barely discernible mural sketched in white chalk on a brick surface. Moving closer, the faint outlines unveiled a face adorned with a mysterious, all-knowing grin. The atmosphere held a tranquil essence, carrying whispers of smoke and damp stone, while that enigmatic smile seemed to safeguard a narrative of forgotten desires and concealed truths never destined to be unveiled. Every morning following that initial encounter, an invisible force drew me back to that narrow passage. The weathered bricks harbored untold tales within their crevices, and the enigmatic smile appeared to subtly evolve with each revisit. At times it exuded a sense of melancholy, while on other occasions it portrayed a knowing expression, as if confiding an intimate secret to observant passers-by. The sound of my footsteps reverberated softly against the aged walls, mingling with the gentle rustle of autumn leaves skimming across weathered cobblestones. During those serene moments before daybreak, when the world lingered in silence between night and day, I stood before the enigmatic smile, allowing my fingertips to trace the rugged texture of the bricks, feeling the faint grooves where the chalk had settled. On a particularly misty morning, a peculiar sight caught my eye. Beneath the smile, barely visible in the dim light, faint traces of writing emerged. The letters appeared delicate, akin to whispers frozen in time, seemingly materializing and dissolving with each shift of the fog. Leaning in closer, my breath created swirling patterns in the mist. The writing, in an elegant flowing script, danced across the brick surface. While most of it had faded beyond recognition, a few words remained legible. Beneath the seventh stone. My heartbeat quickened, not from fear, but from the quiet thrill of unveiling a long-forgotten secret. I commenced counting the bricks beneath the smile, my fingers gliding over each one. The seventh brick felt subtly distinct, not overtly, but possessing a slight give that set it apart from the others. The mortar surrounding it appeared relatively newer, yet weathered enough to blend seamlessly with its surroundings, save for the most perceptive eye. In the ensuing weeks, I frequented the wall at varying times of the day, observing how the shifting light altered the countenance of the smile. During the golden hues of sunset, the chalk seemed to emit an inner radiance. Even amidst rainfall, as water cascaded down the wall, the smile persisted, softening but never entirely vanishing. Carrying my sketchbook, I endeavored to capture the diverse moods of the smile. Each sketch felt incomplete, as if some intrinsic quality of the image remained elusive. While other individuals traversed the alley, few seemed to acknowledge the smile. Those who did would pause briefly, their expressions subtly shifting before continuing along their way. One twilight, bathed in the gentle hues of a fading sun, I espied an elderly woman standing before the wall. Clad in a gray woolen coat and leaning on a wooden cane, her countenance bore a mix of recognition and tender sorrow. Ignoring my presence, she uttered soft words, perhaps to herself or maybe to the smile. "You always were too clever for your own good," she murmured, extending her trembling fingers to touch the wall. Upon her departure, I noticed she had left a small object on the ledge beneath the seventh brick, a tarnished brass key, its design intricate and antiquated. The key exuded warmth in my grasp, as though absorbing not just the day's heat, but something deeper, memories, secrets, perhaps. It resembled no lock I had encountered, boasting peculiar tooth patterns and delicate engravings along its shaft. I found myself carrying it with me, tracing my fingers over its surface during moments of tranquility. Weeks elapsed, and rather than fading, the smile appeared to grow more defined. New intricacies emerged, a subtle curve at the corner of the mouth hinting at amusement, a faint dimple that surfaced under certain lighting. The wall metamorphosed into my haven, a realm where time flowed differently and the ordinary world seemed distant. Then arrived the morning when everything shifted, albeit in the gentlest manner imaginable. Arriving at dawn, I beheld a small group of laborers commencing the restoration of the ancient alley. Speaking in subdued tones to honor the early hour, they readied themselves to clean and repair the brick walls. A pang of sorrow tugged at my heart at the thought of the smile being effaced. However, upon approaching for a final gaze, a remarkable sight unfolded before me. In place of the chalk smile, a natural pattern emerged on the brick itself, curves and shadows interweaving to recreate the same knowing expression I had grown accustomed to. The workers meticulously cleaned around it, seeming to instinctively grasp its significance without utterance. The brass key in my pocket radiated warmth, and I comprehended that certain enigmas are destined to remain just that, enigmatic. Presently, I still venture to the alley, though with less frequency. The smile lingers, subtler now, but unmistakably present, transformed from mere chalk into something enduring. At times, in the right illumination, or amid particularly serene instants, I catch a glimpse of those faded words beneath it, or sense the key's warmth against my skin. I return the smile to the wall, partaking in its clandestine narrative. The seventh brick remains slightly loose, its enigma unexplored. Perhaps it is for the best. Some doors are meant to remain shut, safeguarding their tales for future dreamers who may chance upon them, gazing up and pondering the smile etched on the brick wall. Story 30. Amidst the tranquility of a serene pond, I paused to gaze at my reflection in the gentle ripples. But what I beheld made my breath hitch. A vague visage, barely discernible amidst the moving waters, distinct from my own. The atmosphere was tinged with a light mist, carrying the bittersweet scent of algae, as the image seemed to murmur an ancient, forgotten tale veiled deep within the water's depths. As I knelt there, captivated by the fluid dance of the water, recollections of my grandmother's tales about water spirits drifted through my thoughts. She often spoke of how still waters harbored secrets for those patient enough to heed their whispers. The soft rustle of leaves overhead wove a soothing melody, harmonized by the occasional splash of tiny fish breaking the surface. Following that initial encounter, I found myself drawn back to the pond time and again. Each evening, as the sun embarked on its leisurely descent, casting elongated shadows upon the water's surface, I would settle on the weathered bench nearby. In this ethereal light, the water possessed an otherworldly allure, neither mirror nor window, but something in between. Occasionally I glimpsed that enigmatic face, always hovering at the brink of clarity, akin to a word left unfinished mid-sentence. The locals harbored their own conjectures about the pond. Some speculated it was fed by subterranean streams interlinked with ancient water systems. Others insisted it was bottomless. An elderly resident nearby recounted witnessing lights beneath the water's surface on certain nights, his demeanor conveying a tranquil acceptance that left me pondering the veracity of his words. One mist-laden evening, the water appeared different, perfectly still, resembling glass, mirroring the deepening purple sky above. Enveloped in the comforting silence, I discerned a curious anomaly in my reflection. It seemed to lag slightly behind my movements, as though regarding me with inquisitive intent. The once faint face emerged more distinctly now, possessing feminine features with eyes that harbored centuries of patience. In that moment, a gentle pull tugged at my mind, akin to the inception of a silent dialogue. No words were spoken, yet impressions began flowing into my thoughts. I witnessed fleeting glimpses of the pond across time, centuries of shifting seasons, of transient lives, of concealed secrets and untold truths. The face in the water had borne witness to it all, safeguarding memories too precious or perilous for the surface world. The air thickened with moisture, droplets gathering upon my skin. Though my attire slowly dampened, I remained immobile, entranced by the wordless exchange. The face divulged more. Ancient rites enacted at the water's edge, lovers pledging eternal vows, children learning to navigate the depths, elders finding solace in their final moments. The pond transcended mere water. It embodied a custodian of narratives, a silent chronicler of human existence. As night descended in full, accompanied by a symphony of crickets and the sporadic hoot of a distant owl, I realized hours had slipped away while I sat there. The visage began to fade, but not before imparting one final impression. A sense of appreciation for being truly seen, for having someone acknowledge its presence after so long. The water rippled gently, as if stirred by an unseen breath, the surface returning to its customary state. Walking home that night, my garments still damp with mist, I sensed a subtle yet profound transformation within me. The world appeared richer, layered with concealed meanings and unspoken tales. I comprehended why my grandmother spoke of water spirits with such reverence. They were not meant to instill fear, but to prompt us to remember the profound connections flowing beneath the surface of everyday existence. I continue to frequent the pond, though the clarity of connection with the face in the water has eluded me since. Occasionally, when the light strikes the surface just so, I glimpse those age-old eyes and feel a familiar, gentle pull in my mind. The pond has evolved into my sanctuary, a realm where the boundary between past and present, memory and reality, blurs wondrously thin. People often question my penchant for lingering by the water, particularly on misty evenings. I merely offer a smile and mention that I am listening to ancient tales. Indeed, some mysteries are meant to be felt rather than understood, experienced rather than explained. Amidst the tranquil ripples of that ancient pond, I've discovered that the line between observer and observed can fade, engendering a dance of reflection that transcends the ordinary confines of our world. The face in the water endures as my silent companion, a sentinel of memories both personal and shared. In its presence, I've gleaned that the most profound mysteries often unfold in whispers, revealing their secrets to those willing to listen, to observe, and to marvel. Story 31. The old shop exuded the scent of ancient paper and well-loved wood. As I wandered among the shelves, my fingers traced the dusty spines of forgotten books. Then one particular book beckoned me. Its cracked leather cover called out to me, and as I opened it, a jolt of recognition pulsed through me. My own name greeted me from the first page, penned in a script unfamiliar to my eyes. Outside, soft rain tapped against the foggy windows, providing a soothing backdrop to the mystery unfolding before me. The floor beneath me creaked softly as I approached a weathered leather armchair bathed in the warm glow of a small reading lamp. The amber light enveloped me in a cozy embrace within the dim, musty shop. Settling into the chair, its worn leather seemed to mold to my shape, as if welcoming me into a secret sanctuary. The diary I held radiated unexpected warmth, as though anticipating my touch. Tracing my fingers over the faded ink, I noticed how some letters danced on the page, elusive and ethereal. The first entry, dated ages past, mirrored my own handwriting, with curves and slants reminiscent of my own hand. It began with a simple musing. Memories slipped through the cracks of time, like shadows weaving through forgotten doorways. The rain outside shifted from a gentle tap to a steady murmur, blending seamlessly with the tale within the diary. The room's temperature hovered in perfect balance, cocooning me in a blanket of tranquility that urged me to delve deeper into the narrative. The diary unfolded a tapestry of enigmatic occurrences, moments where reality twisted and turned in inexplicable ways. The writer spoke of phantom footsteps in empty halls, elusive reflections that defied logic, and unseen entities that left no trace. One passage resonated deeply within me. Time is not a straight line, but a tapestry of intricate patterns and unforeseen folds. Some memories transcend mere recollection, existing simultaneously in different epochs. Fear had no place in these pages. Instead, a sense of awe and wonder pervaded the prose. Each entry peeled back layers of experience, blurring the boundaries between the known and the unknown. The writing possessed a contemplative, almost hypnotic quality, luring the reader into a state of peaceful curiosity. As I continued to read, the rain outside synchronized with the rhythm of turning pages. The rustling of paper melded seamlessly with the gentle percussion of raindrops on glass, crafting a soothing symphony that enveloped me in its embrace. The lamplight bathed the pages in a golden hue, as if the very light conspired to weave itself into the tale being told. Family ties that transcended conventional understanding wove through the diary's pages, hints of shared experiences spanning generations, memories flowing like a river through disparate lives. The writer detailed moments of sudden recognition, faces in crowds that felt achingly familiar yet forever elusive. "Our connections run deeper than we perceive," a passage whispered. "Our lives are threads in a grand tapestry, some visible, some hidden, waiting to be unraveled." As evening descended, shadows crept through the shop, casting a veil of mystery between the book-laden shelves. The rain persisted in its gentle serenade, a constant companion in the twilight hours. The diary's final entries delved into realms of abstraction, dreams more vivid than reality, musings on the fluidity of perception and the coexistence of multiple memories. Hours slipped by unnoticed as I pored over the diary, neither fatigued nor unsettled, but steeped in a profound sense of tranquility. The leather cover felt warm against my palms as I closed the book. Beyond the shop's walls, the rain sang its soft, melodic tune, a lullaby of gentle uncertainty. Some mysteries, I realized, are meant to be felt, not unraveled. Some stories guide us into realms of contemplation and peace. The diary lingered in my hands, a bridge between the tangible and the intangible, beckoning me to rest in the exquisite ambiguity of existence. Story 32. One chilly morning I stirred from slumber to a curious sight. My window veiled in a soft mist of condensation. With a gentle swipe, I revealed a mesmerizing sketch etched upon the glass. A solitary figure stood amidst a hazy landscape, its features mirroring my own in a hauntingly precise manner. The scent of aged charcoal and paper lingered in the air, shrouding me in a cloak of nostalgia and mystery. Clad in my night attire, I stood captivated by the play of winter light filtering through the fogged glass, casting ethereal shadows across my bedroom floor. The usual creak of the wooden floorboards beneath my feet felt subtly altered, as if whispering secrets of the unseen. Silence enveloped the room like a heavy quilt, muffling the world outside. My fingertips traced the outline of the figure on the glass, its cool smoothness sending a shiver down my spine. It was clear that this was no ordinary condensation. The lines were purposeful, almost alive. In the background of the sketch, skeletal trees reached for a cloudy sky, their branches weaving intricate patterns that danced at the corner of my vision. As I delved deeper into the drawing, new details unfurled before me. The figure, my spectral twin, stood before an ornate Victorian mirror, its frame adorned with elaborate carvings. Yet, in the reflection, the figure gazed into an abyss that defied logic, pulling me into its enigmatic depths. A soft breeze whispered beneath my bedroom door, carrying the earthy fragrance of rain-soaked soil and autumn leaves, a paradox in the midst of winter. Distant wind chimes serenaded me with a melody both soothing and unsettling, their rhythm elusive yet familiar. Drawn to my desk, I unearthed my old sketchbooks, only to discover a startling revelation. Pages filled with sketches of the same figure and mirror, each dated weeks prior, penned in a handwriting eerily similar to my own, yet not quite. The room seemed to glow with a pearlescent luminescence, emanating from the very window that held the mysterious drawing. The sketch evolved before my eyes, growing sharper and more defined, as if guided by an unseen force. The sound of a pencil scratching against glass echoed in the room, though no hand moved. My reflection merged with the drawing, mirroring my movements in a mesmerizing dance of symmetry. It dawned on me that the sketch was not merely a work of art, but a portal, a beckoning doorway to another realm. The figure, once thought to be my own likeness, sought to impart a message, a revelation hidden within its intricate lines. With each breath, the glass fogged slightly, adding layers of depth to the scene, like veils of reality unfolding before me. The wind chimes, melody grew more pronounced, evoking memories of my grandmother's gentle humming as she worked on her sketches. Time ebbed and flowed in a surreal dance as I stood transfixed, witnessing a story unfold before my eyes. The room's temperature fluctuated, a subtle shift between warmth and coolness, like the ebb and flow of dreams. In a moment of intuition, I retrieved my grandmother's old wooden art box from the closet, unveiling a hidden journal brimming with sketches akin to the one on my window. Her elegant handwriting spoke of doorways between worlds and the art of mirror walking, revealing a legacy I had yet to fully grasp. As twilight descended, I sat in quiet contemplation, oscillating between the window sketch and my grandmother's teachings. The drawing remained unchanged, a silent sentinel poised on the brink of revelation. I understood then that some mysteries are not meant to be unraveled in haste, but savored, absorbed, and integrated into the fabric of one's being. In the dusky glow of evening, I etched my own impressions in my journal, the scratch of pencil on paper a symphony, echoing the whispers of the morning. As night descended, I knew that come the dawn, the window would be clear once more. Yet a transformation had taken root, shifting the boundaries between the known and the unknown, the ordinary and the extraordinary. The wind chimes continued their ethereal serenade, hinting at other sketches waiting to be unveiled, other doorways yearning to be crossed. But it was the initial drawing, that first glimpse through the misted glass, that lingered most vividly in my mind. A gentle reminder that the line between reality and illusion is as delicate as frost on a winter window. Story 33. The gentle hum of the old radio, crackling with static, filled the quiet expanse of my empty apartment. It had been silent for years, yet here it was, softly playing in the subdued light of the room. As my hand reached out to switch it off, a voice emerged from the crackle. A voice so low, so familiar, it sent a shiver down my spine. It whispered a secret known only to me. The radio rested on my grandmother's cherished antique side table, its wooden exterior reflecting the warm glow of my reading lamp. The evening had been serene until that moment, with the gentle patter of rain against the window providing a soothing rhythm to my solitude. I had been nestled with a book, enveloped in the comforting embrace of my favorite blanket, when the first hint of static pierced the calm. Initially, I thought I had accidentally nudged the table, causing the ancient radio to spring to life. But deep down, I knew that couldn't be true. The radio had been silent since my grandmother's passing 5 years ago. I had kept it solely for the sentimental memories it held, a connection to the countless evenings of my childhood spent listening to music while she knitted in her beloved chair. The voice from the radio grew clearer, slowly emerging from the static like a figure emerging from mist. "I recall the butterfly," it murmured, so soft that I almost missed it. My breath hitched in my throat. The butterfly, only my grandmother and I shared that memory. It was our secret, a delicate blue morpho that had alighted on my hand during her funeral. I had never revealed how it had perched there, unmoving, until the final prayer was spoken. The rain continued its gentle serenade against the window panes as I sat in stillness, afraid to disrupt the peculiar enchantment that had descended upon my living space. The voice persisted, navigating through patches of static with ease. "You still safeguard the origami birds in the shoebox beneath your bed." Another secret revealed, the paper cranes my grandmother had taught me to craft, each one holding a whispered wish inscribed in pencil. I had never unveiled them to anyone. The soft glow of my lamp seemed to pulse in harmony with the static, casting dancing shadows across the radio's wooden facade. A fragrance lingered in the air, reminiscent of dried lavender and aged books, my grandmother's signature scent. The room's temperature shifted, turning pleasantly cool, akin to the morning breeze in her garden where we used to sit. The voice continued to share memories, the hidden key beneath the loose brick in her garden wall, the cryptic recipe for her blackberry tea in her journal. The melody of Moon River hummed in private moments. Each revelation washed over me like a gentle wave, unearthing memories long tucked away in the quiet recesses of my mind. I found myself sinking deeper into the chair, fear giving way to a profound tranquility. The static amidst the words transformed into a soothing white noise, reminiscent of ocean waves or wind rustling through trees. Embracing the voice as my grandmother's, I surrendered to its tender narrative, each syllable carrying the weight of shared experiences. Time seemed to flow differently as I immersed myself in her words. The distant rain outside melded into a melodic accompaniment to the voice emanating from the radio. Though my eyelids grew heavy, I resisted the urge to succumb to sleep, unwilling to miss a single utterance. The voice painted pictures of summer afternoons in her garden, of hidden trails in the woods behind her home, of stories left unfinished. With the night deepening, the voice gradually faded, merging once more with the static. Desiring to reach out to pose the questions left unasked, something held me in place. Perhaps certain enigmas are destined to remain shrouded, mysteries that define our existence. The final words pierced through the fading static like a moonbeam through clouds. The most profound secrets are those that remind us we are never truly alone. And with that, the static dissipated into silence, leaving only the symphony of raindrops and the echo of my quiet breath. Since that night, I never powered on the radio again. Yet on occasion, when the rain falls just so, and the evening light caresses the wood grain of the radio's cabinet, I swear I catch the faintest whisper of static. In those fleeting moments, I am reminded that while some secrets are meant to be safeguarded, others find their voice in the most mysterious of ways. Story 34. In the heart of a dense forest, shrouded in a cool mist on a serene morning, an unfamiliar rustling caught my attention. The leaves, whispering among themselves, seemed to beckon me to follow an unseen path. Guided by their subtle guidance, I soon found myself standing before an ancient headstone, partially veiled by ivy and moss, a silent sentinel of time. The air carried the earthy scent of damp soil and decay, stirring a sense of unease, as if the past yearned to be acknowledged. Kneeling by the weathered stone, my fingertips traced the faded inscriptions, each groove telling a tale of erosion and endurance. Smooth in some places, rough in others, the stone bore witness to the relentless passage of time. A gentle breeze carried the delicate perfume of wild roses, their petals scattered like a tender offering to the forgotten soul beneath. As the morning light filtered through the canopy above, casting a mosaic of shadows on the forest floor, a tranquil ambiance enveloped me. Each ray of light revealed tiny particles dancing in the air, suspending time in a moment of ethereal beauty. The forest symphony played on, distant bird calls, the soft rustle of leaves underfoot, the gentle patter of water droplets. A peculiar observation struck me about the headstone's solitary placement. Unlike the orderly rows of a typical graveyard, this one stood askew, seemingly pointing towards a hidden path deeper into the woods. Following its subtle indication, my eyes caught sight of a faint trail, almost imperceptible amidst the undergrowth, marked by smaller stones akin to the one before me, like breadcrumbs leading to a mystery. A slight drop in temperature accompanied my progress along this clandestine route. My steps were muffled by layers of fallen leaves, creating a hushed carpet beneath me. The air grew still, yet the whispers persisted, now seeming to emanate from all directions, enveloping me in their enigmatic embrace. Emerging into a clearing where morning mist lazily swirled around my ankles, I beheld an ancient oak tree at its center. Its gnarled trunk, twisted with age and wisdom, bore a curious array of items hanging from its lower branches. Old photographs in rusted frames, handwritten letters encased in weathered glass bottles, and personal mementos spanning different eras. Each object appeared deliberately placed, forming a tapestry of memories intertwined with the grave I had chanced upon. A sepia photograph captured a Victorian-clad woman, her gaze mirroring the forest's mystery. A weathered bottle contained a letter from 1892, its faded ink recounting tales of loss and promises unspoken. The whispers grew softer, more intimate, as if the forest itself shared its secrets with me in silent trust. I began to grasp that this was not merely a solitary grave, but a sanctuary of memories, where time folded in upon itself. The ancient tree had become a custodian of tales, each hanging item a strand in a web of interconnected lives. As morning progressed, sunlight pierced through the mist, casting golden beams that illuminated different artifacts in a dance of light and shadow. A small mirror momentarily reflected a flicker of movement behind me, but upon turning, only the gentle sway of branches met my gaze. Hours slipped away as I immersed myself in the relics of yesteryears, fragments of letters, snapshots frozen in time, each resonating with the echoes of love, loss, and the eternal rhythm of life witnessed by the forest. The rustling leaves continued their soothing narrative, a gentle backdrop to my exploration. With the onset of afternoon, a golden radiance bathed the clearing, infusing it with a mystical warmth. Sensing the need to depart, a quiet impulse led me to contribute a piece of my own history to this sacred space. Retrieving an old pocket watch that once belonged to my grandfather, I reverently hung it from a low branch, weaving my own story into the tapestry of memories. Retracing my steps along the forest path, I noticed a shift in the whisper's tone. No longer beckoning me forward, they now bid a soft farewell, their sighs tender and comforting. The original headstone reappeared in view, transformed in my eyes, not as an end, but a genesis, a threshold to a realm where memories linger in the rustle of leaves and the gentle morning light. I chose not to mark the clearing on any map, nor divulge its whereabouts to another soul. Some places are meant to remain concealed, existing in that fragile realm between reality and reverie. Yet on tranquil mornings, when mist drifts in and leaves murmur their secrets, I know it lingers still, cradling stories, safeguarding memories, awaiting the next wanderer attuned to its silent call. Story 35. In a remote corner of the local library, I stumbled upon a weathered leather-bound book that beckoned to me from a dusty shelf. Its pages, fragile and yellowed with age, whispered of untold stories and forgotten secrets. As I delicately turned the pages, a folded piece of paper slipped out, unfurling to reveal a map unlike any I had ever seen before. Intricate symbols danced across its surface, hinting at a world long lost to the passage of time. The paper carried with it the ancient scent of ink and history, drawing me in with its mysterious allure. I sank into a plush armchair nearby, the soft velvet enveloping me in a cocoon of comfort as the afternoon sun filtered through tall windows, casting a warm glow over the map's enigmatic markings. Each line on the map was etched with precision, every symbol holding a hidden meaning waiting to be unraveled. Curious symbols adorned the margins, resembling cryptic languages of civilizations long forgotten. The gentle patter of rain against the windows created a soothing symphony, perfectly complementing the contemplative atmosphere of my discovery. Running my fingers along the paths laid out before me, I noticed a peculiar sensation. The paper seemed to radiate warmth beneath my touch, and the ink shimmered faintly in the dim light of the library. With each change in perspective, the map seemed to shift and transform, revealing new mysteries with each glance. In the far corner of the library, an ancient grandfather clock marked the passage of time with its soft, melodic chimes, Each toll seemed to infuse the symbols on the map with a subtle, ethereal glow, beckoning me further into its enigmatic web. I traced the converging paths on the map, all leading towards a central location marked by an elaborate compass rose. Outside, the rain intensified, creating a soothing backdrop of nature's melody, intermingling with the library's quiet whispers and creaks. As I delved deeper into the map's enigmas, I noticed a connection between some of the symbols and the intricate carvings adorning the library's stone archways. These markings, once dismissed as mere decoration, now held a significance that seemed to whisper of hidden truths waiting to be unveiled. With the map as my guide, I ventured into unexplored corridors of the library, the warm paper pulsating with each step I took. The usual sounds of the library faded into an eerie silence, heightening the sense of anticipation that hung in the air like a veil of mystery. I discovered a hidden section of the library, its ancient woodwork adorned with the same symbols as the map, imbuing the air with a sense of ancient wisdom and forgotten tales. The scent of old books mingled with the essence of rain and distant thunder, creating an atmosphere charged with magic and intrigue. As evening descended and the library lights brightened, casting long shadows that danced around me, I noticed hidden lines on the map that appeared only under certain angles of light. Tracing these invisible paths with my fingertips, I felt the room's temperature shift subtly, as if time itself was bending and warping around me. The grandfather clock's chimes echoed through the space, distorted and surreal, as the map revealed glimpses of the library's past, offering fleeting visions of bygone eras. What had begun as a simple exploration had now transformed into a journey through time and space, guided by the mysterious map's cryptic instructions. With closing time drawing near, I carefully folded the map and returned it to its rightful place within the book, its cover bearing a single symbol that mirrored the compass rose. Yet when I attempted to check out the book, the librarian's computer showed no trace of its existence in the library's records. Since that fateful discovery, I have returned to the library time and time again, always on rainy afternoons when the light weaves its magic through the windows. The book seems to move of its own accord, appearing in different locations, as if leading me on a clandestine dance through the stacks. Other patrons, too, have been drawn to similar books with mysterious maps, yet we share only fleeting glances, bound by an unspoken understanding of the library's hidden secrets. The once familiar shelves now hold endless possibilities and untold wonders, waiting to be unearthed by those with the courage to seek them out. On quiet evenings, when the rain taps a gentle rhythm against the windows and the grandfather clock sings its enigmatic tune, I unfurl the map and let its warmth guide me through the labyrinthine corridors of the library. Each turn opens up new paths, new revelations, drawing me closer to a truth that shimmers just beyond reach. Perhaps the true essence of the map lies not in the destinations it reveals, but in the journey it invites us to embark upon, a journey through the timeless spaces between moments where the past and present converge in a symphony of whispers and shadows. Every page turned, every shadow cast, holds the promise of a world waiting to be discovered, a world brimming with mysteries and magic, just waiting for the curious soul to unravel its secrets. Story 36. In the realm of forgotten memories and rusted dreams, there lies an abandoned amusement park that once echoed with laughter and joy. For years I paid it no mind, passing by its decaying facade without a second glance, until one misty evening when a mysterious force tugged at my senses. As I ventured through the overgrown pathways and past the dilapidated rides, my eyes were drawn to a solitary, steady light glowing at the heart of the park. The beacon pulsed rhythmically, casting a spellbinding glow amidst the peeling paint and creaking metal structures, beckoning me deeper into the forgotten realm. The air was heavy with a sweet scent, reminiscent of cotton candy and hazy recollections, Beneath my feet, the gravel path whispered softly with each step, harmonizing with the gentle rustle of tall grass swaying in the evening breeze. Nature had begun its slow dance of reclaiming the park, with ivy embracing the skeletal remains of once vibrant attractions, and moonflowers blooming in the places where children once frolicked. Drawing closer to the enigmatic light, I noticed peculiar details that blurred the line between decay and preservation. The nearest carousel stood frozen in time, its mirrors gleaming with an otherworldly cleanliness, reflecting the pulsing beacon in fractured patterns on the ground. The weathered horses seemed to hold secrets in their painted eyes, a ghostly sheen lingering from their glory days. With each step towards the source of light, the mysteries deepened. It radiated from the park's central pavilion, a Victorian-style structure adorned with intricate woodwork that cast intricate shadows in the soft glow. The beacon's rhythmic pulse seemed to resonate with something primal within me, syncing with the cosmic heartbeat that reverberated through the universe. Time itself seemed to ebb and flow within the park's confines. The fog curled lazily around my ankles, and distant sounds reached my ears as if carried on ethereal whispers. The haunting melody of a music box, phantom conversations, and the sigh of settling structures. I swayed to this nocturnal symphony, my mind hovering between waking reality and the realms of dreams. Inside the pavilion, the light unveiled its source, a simple brass lamp, antique and untouched by time, resting on a pristine table. Its warm glow defied the desolation of the surroundings, creating a perfect circle of light that remained steady and unwavering. Surrounding the lamp were curious artifacts: a leather-bound ticket book with pages untouched by age, a conductor's hat exuding a warmth as if freshly worn, and a brass key that shimmered in the mesmerizing light. The preservation of these items felt not eerie, but strangely natural, as if they had been waiting for my arrival. Standing within the circle of light, I sensed a profound truth about places like this. They exist in a liminal space between memory and reality, never truly fading away but transforming into something else entirely. The ticket book held a chronicle of time, with numbers and dates spanning decades, some from the park's operational years, and others bearing future dates beyond comprehension. Names written alongside certain entries seemed to shift and morph, as if alive with unseen energy. Lifting the conductor's hat revealed a photograph, sharp and vivid, depicting the pavilion alive with movement and light, figures dancing at the edges of perception. As the night deepened, I realized that the beacon had not only drawn me in, but unveiled a glimpse of the extraordinary. The amusement park existed in multiple dimensions, a paradox of abandonment and vitality, emptiness and fullness, past and present melding in a surreal dance that challenged my understanding. With the first light of dawn creeping over the horizon, I knew it was time to depart. The brass key remained untouched on the table, a silent promise of mysteries yet uncovered, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal its secrets. As I retraced my steps through the awakening park, the light in the pavilion dimmed not with distance, but with the rising sun, fading into a slumbering state. Now, I pass by the park each day, eyes searching for that beckoning light. Occasionally, on evenings when the veil between worlds feels thin, I catch a glimpse of the pulsing beacon through the mist, a reminder of the enigmatic night that still lingers in my thoughts. It is not a source of fear, but a gentle nudge, a whisper that reality is but a facade, concealing layers waiting to be unraveled by those brave enough to follow the unexplained light into the unknown. Story 37, The Night's Glow. As dusk descended upon the world, I made my way down the stairs of my building. A peculiar sight greeted me, a pale, flickering light gently swaying in the corridor. Its source remained a mystery, casting twisted shadows upon the walls. The air bore a chill, carrying whispers of old paint, while each step I took echoed in the surreal silence that enveloped me. I paused, drawn to the enigmatic glow hovering between the realms of the past and the unknown. With each step towards it, my pace naturally slowed, entranced by its pulsating rhythm, akin to a slumbering breath. The aged wooden floorboards beneath me whispered stories of long ago, their grains holding secrets untold. As I approached, the temperature dropped, shrouding the light in a delicate mist that danced around its edges. Its quality was both familiar and alien, lacking the harshness of modern bulbs or the warmth of incandescent light. Instead, it exuded a pearlescent essence, akin to moonlight filtering through morning fog. Mesmerized, I watched as the light subtly responded to my presence, swaying like seaweed in a gentle current. The faded wallpaper absorbed and reflected its radiance, creating an intricate play of light and shadow. Patterns emerged within the flickering, ephemeral swirls and shapes that vanished upon direct gaze. The musty scent of the building transformed into a sweet fragrance, akin to dried flowers nestled within ancient tomes. Time seemed to halt, unnoticed, as if stretching and flowing like honey. The silence deepened, wrapping around me like a comforting blanket, shielding me from the chaos of the world. Amidst the tranquility, faint sounds drifted through the air, perhaps the whispers of old wood settling or something more ethereal. The light unveiled its true nature, revealing subtle hues of lavender and sea green swirling harmoniously, evoking memories of tales spun by my grandmother. A gentle warmth emanated from the light, contrasting with the corridor's cold embrace, reminiscent of sunlight lingering on skin after a summer day. Memories, both personal and belonging to the building itself, flooded my senses, blurring the lines between past and present. The light's movements grew purposeful, as if attempting to convey a message in a language beyond comprehension. I swayed in response, engaged in a silent dialogue, feeling its ethereal touch envelop my hand, like liquid moonlight caressing my skin. Time ebbed and flowed in the corridor, minutes blending into hours, as the building's whispers transformed into a melodic symphony harmonizing with the pulsing light. Gradually, the glow began to dim, merging with the natural shadows of night, leaving behind a residue of wonder, altering reality in subtle ways. Turning to leave, the corridor appeared unchanged, yet fundamentally different, concealing newfound secrets within its familiar facade. The mysterious light never returned in the same form, but sometimes, in the threshold between evening and night, I sense a familiar warmth, a glimpse of pearlescent radiance, hinting that perhaps the light lingers, awaiting the perfect moment to reveal itself once more to those who seek the mysteries of reality. Story 38. In the depths of my newly renovated home, I stumbled upon a hidden treasure, a grand mirror nestled among forgotten crates in the basement. With careful hands, I cleared away the years of neglect to reveal its secrets. But instead of my own reflection, the mirror unveiled a mesmerizing world of vivid colors and enigmatic shapes behind me, a world unlike any I had ever seen, emanating scents of damp earth mingled with exotic spices, stirring a sense of both fascination and unease within me. Night after night, I found myself drawn back to the basement, captivated by the mirror's enigmatic charm. The wooden frame, adorned with intricate motifs of intertwining branches and leaves, seemed to pulse gently under my touch, radiating a soothing warmth. In the soft glow of my desk lamp, I observed how the shadows cast by the frame danced and shifted, creating an ever-changing tapestry of light and dark. The landscape within the mirror shifted subtly with each visit, revealing rolling hills adorned with glowing flowers one moment, and crystalline forests that chimed softly in the breeze the next. The sky above was a fluid canvas of swirling colors, defying earthly conventions and mesmerizing me with its otherworldly beauty. But it was the gentle movements in the background that truly captured my imagination. Winged creatures gliding soundlessly through the air, ethereal forms drifting among the crystal trees, leaving traces of soft light in their wake. Their presence, though unfamiliar, brought a sense of comfort, like observing fish glide through a tranquil aquarium. As time passed, the faint hum that emanated from the mirror evolved into a haunting melody, weaving together notes that transcended our world's scales, creating harmonies that resonated deep within my soul. I transformed the basement into a cozy sanctuary, arranging it around the mirror to indulge in its mystical allure. The musty scent of the basement gradually gave way to a warm blend of aged books, polished wood, and the alluring spice-like fragrance that enveloped the mirror. One evening, as I sat with my cup of chamomile tea, a new vision materialized in the mirror. A desk identical to my own, adorned with a glowing book whose pages danced with cryptic symbols. Intrigued, I began documenting my observations in a journal, unraveling the mirror world's secrets one detail at a time. The mirror seemed to respond to my notes, unveiling new wonders in appreciation of my attention. The once distinct boundary between my world and the mirror's realm blurred, merging into a harmonious symphony of sights and sounds. Now, as I sit in my familiar armchair, pen in hand, I feel the mirror world's presence as keenly as my own. It stands as a silent gateway to realms uncharted, beckoning me to explore the mysteries that lie beyond mere observation. The music of the mirror, the dance of shadows, and the shifting colors all whisper of untold possibilities waiting to be discovered. In the soft glow of my desk lamp, I embrace the quiet wonder of this surreal connection, content to bask in the mysteries that unfold before me. Perhaps some enigmas are not meant to be unraveled, but cherished for the awe they inspire. And so, I continue my nightly vigil, listening to the ethereal music, watching the colors shift, and feeling the gentle pulse of two worlds in harmony. As I close my journal for the night, a flicker of movement catches my eye in the mirror's reflection. Could it be my counterpart in that other world, ending another day of silent contemplation, just like me? The answer eludes me, but in that fleeting moment, I find solace in the shared tranquility of our parallel existences. Story 39. As the day's weariness settled upon me, I sought solace in the quiet sanctuary of my room. There, enveloped by the cloak of darkness and silence, a subtle unease crept in. In the soft glow of a lone lamp, a fleeting shadow danced along the walls, teasing my gaze with its elusive presence. The room exuded the faint fragrance of aged wood, adding to the air of mystery that hung heavy in the atmosphere. A gentle chime broke the silence, its soft melody lingering in the stillness, hinting at a world beyond the tangible. Nestling into the familiar embrace of my favorite armchair, the rhythmic patter of rain outside my window wove a soothing symphony that lulled my senses. The amber pools of light cast by the lamp pulsed gently, in harmony with the whispers of wind that caressed the old house. The shadow that had caught my eye earlier lingered in the corners of my mind, a silent observer of the unfolding night. This room, my sanctuary, had become a canvas for the subtle shifts in the play of light and dark. The shadows seemed to possess a life of their own, moving with a fluidity that defied logic. Tonight, however, there was a weight to the air, an anticipation of something stirring beneath the surface of the ordinary. My gaze wandered over the rows of weathered books that adorned the shelves, their spines gleaming softly in the lamplight. The shadows between them seemed to ebb and flow, creating intricate patterns reminiscent of flowing streams. Grasping a cup of tea, the warmth seeping into my chilled hands, I felt a peculiar chill on one side of the ceramic vessel. Raising the cup to my lips, my reflection in the dark liquid appeared distorted, its ripples a silent echo of unseen currents. The steady heartbeat of the grandfather clock filled the room, each tick stretching into a moment of suspended time, drawing me into a trance-like state. The pendulum's dance cast shifting shadows that defied the laws of physics, a subtle reminder of the otherworldly presence that lingered in the room. Rising from my seat, I approached the window to draw the curtains, only to catch a glimpse of movement in the glass. It was not my own reflection that stared back at me, but a figure that moved with a grace both familiar and foreign. The rain outside whispered secrets in a language only my soul could decipher, its patterns forming cryptic messages that danced on the edge of comprehension. Pressing my palm against the cool glass, I felt a gentle pressure in return, as if the glass itself held a heartbeat of its own. Returning to the center of the room, I found the shadows had rearranged themselves, converging towards an unseen focal point that eluded my searching gaze. The bookshelf beckoned me once more, a particular volume standing out amidst the rest. As I reached for the old journal, its pages blank save for a cryptic message, a sense of recognition washed over me. They come with the shadows, but they mean no harm. The words whispered to me, stirring ancient memories that lay dormant within. With the journal in hand, I sank back into the embrace of the armchair, the play of light and shadow on its cover mesmerizing me. Opening the journal, I delved into its depths, discovering worlds within its blank pages that mirrored the mysteries of the night. The boundaries between light and shadow blurred, merging into a tapestry of forgotten dreams and unspoken truths. As the night deepened, the shadows revealed themselves as more than mere absence of light. They were conduits of whispers and echoes, carriers of untold stories and unspoken desires. Their silent ballet unfolded with a grace that transcended the mundane, weaving a tapestry of memories and possibilities that danced on the fringes of consciousness. In their dance, I found solace and wonder, a glimpse into a realm where reality and imagination intertwined. As sleep finally claimed me, its embrace was gentle and all-encompassing, like sinking into a bottomless sea of tranquility. Morning dawned, and the shadows resumed their familiar dance, yet now I saw them with new eyes. They lingered a moment longer, moved with a hint of purpose, as if awaiting the next chapter in our silent dialogue. And in the stillness of the night, I knew they would be there, watching from the shadows, guardians of the threshold between what is and what could be. Story 40. In the serene hours of a typical evening, a subtle shift in the ambience caught my attention. Soft whispers emerged from beneath my very feet, their delicate tones blending with the distant hum of the city outside. These murmurs carried a weight of age and importance, as if carrying ancient secrets longing to be heard. Each footstep seemed to awaken the hushed voices, as if the very floorboards yearned to share their hidden truths. While my old house often vocalized its presence through gentle creaks and settling sounds, these whispers held a deeper significance. They bore a message, though their words eluded my grasp. The sound resembled the gentle breeze through autumn leaves, or the faint rustling of pages turning in a forgotten library. The first hint of this mysterious chorus came to me while I brewed my evening tea, a cherished ritual that usually brought solace. Wisps of steam curled from my cup, wafting the comforting fragrance of chamomile and honey. The wooden floor underfoot, polished smooth by generations past, seemed to radiate a subtle warmth that defied the cool autumn air. With each passing day, the whispers revealed patterns. They crescendoed at sunset, when the fading sunlight bathed my walls in a golden glow. These voices held no malice. Instead, they bore a wistful quality that stirred memories deep within me. At times, I found myself humming along, drawn to a melody that felt achingly familiar, yet just out of reach. Driven by curiosity, I spent more moments seated on the floor, my hand pressed against the pulsing wood. The floor seemed alive beneath my touch, resonating with a quiet energy. Certain boards, especially those near the bay window where morning light pooled, held a stronger connection to the whispers. On a rainy evening, with a gentle patter against my windows, a peculiar revelation unfolded. The whispers synchronized with the rainfall, creating a harmonious symphony that enveloped the house. The warm glow of my reading lamp cast dancing shadows that moved in time with the melodic whispers. Wrapped in a blanket in my favorite armchair, I embraced the whispers as a comforting presence in my solitary world. I began documenting their patterns in a journal, noting nights where they formed words in unfamiliar tongues that resonated on an emotional level. They spoke of distant memories, of joy and yearning, of time flowing like a river through ancient stones. The more I listened, the more I felt intertwined with something vast and enigmatic. As winter descended, shrouding the nights in darkness and heavy snowfall, the whispers grew clearer in the profound silence. They carried tales of those who had inhabited this space before me, their hopes and dreams seeping through time like water through soil. I found myself sharing my own stories with the floor, whispering about my day, my thoughts, my dreams into the quiet expanse. Sometimes, as I wandered the house at night, the wood would warm beneath my bare feet, as if acknowledging my presence. It felt akin to holding hands with a trusted companion, an exchange of warmth and reassurance. One frigid night, with frost painting delicate patterns on my windows, a remarkable discovery awaited me. While rearranging furniture, a small brass key emerged from between two floorboards. As I cradled it in my palm, the whispers swelled into a melodic song. The key radiated warmth, and a sense of belonging washed over me, as if it were a part of the house itself, though its lock remained undiscovered. This key became my talisman, a tangible link to the mysterious presence beneath my feet. When held, the whispers seemed clearer, yet forever beyond the realm of ordinary comprehension, hovering on the threshold of understanding, like a half-remembered dream upon waking. Now, as I pen these words by flickering candlelight, the whispers persist in their gentle serenade below. They have woven themselves into the fabric of my home, as natural as the staircase's creak or the steady tick of my grandmother's clock. I have embraced the mystery, finding peace in the unexplained, recognizing that some enigmas are more exquisite when left untouched. The floor still warms beneath me each night, and the whispers still rise to greet me each dawn. I sometimes ponder if the house chose me, if it awaited someone willing to listen to its tales without demanding all its secrets be laid bare. Ultimately, I have learned that living with uncertainty can be more soothing than uncovering every answer. The brass key now rests on a silk ribbon around my neck, and in the liminal space between sleep and wakefulness, I almost grasp the whisper's intent. Yet perhaps it is meant to remain elusive, a gentle nudge towards the understanding that certain mysteries are meant to be felt, not unraveled, experienced, not explained. Story 41. In the beginning, I believed it was merely a case of forgetfulness. Notes scattered around my home: purchase milk, lock the door. Simple reminders, things that could easily slip one's mind. But then, one fateful morning, a new note awaited me on my pillow. Wake up, he's inside. The gentle morning light seeped through my curtains, painting soft shadows on my bedroom walls. I held the note delicately in my hand, feeling its smooth yet slightly worn texture, as if it had been touched numerous times before. The handwriting seemed all too familiar, eerily so. It mirrored my own elegant script flawlessly, down to the curves of the Y's and the crosses of the T's. Living alone in this ancient house, every creak of the wooden floors and every whisper of the wind through the windows had become my companions over the years. The house and I shared an unspoken bond where every sound and every shadow held a significance. But recently, a subtle shift had begun to take place, like a painting slightly tilted on the wall. The note started appearing 3 weeks ago. Initially harmless, gentle prompts about daily chores. I shrugged them off, attributing them to my occasional absent-mindedness. Perhaps I had scribbled them during those late-night writing sessions, where wariness blurred the line between reality and dreams. Each dawn brought a new note in unexpected spots. By the coffee maker, add cinnamon today. On the bathroom mirror, check behind the shower curtain. Next to my keys, take the longer route home. The messages grew more intimate, more tailored to my routines, as if penned by someone who knew me inside out. I began noticing subtle alterations in my surroundings. Books subtly rearranged on shelves, my favorite chair still warm as if someone had just occupied it. Hints of my grandmother's perfume wafting through the halls from a sealed bottle in my dresser. The gentle ticking of my grandfather's clock in the living room became a constant companion as I delved deeper into these mysterious occurrences. I started keeping a journal, noting down every message, every minor change. Strangely, the handwriting in my journal seemed to morph slightly from entry to entry, yet undeniably mine. One evening, bathed in the amber glow of the setting sun, I found myself studying the notes spread across my dining table. The paper varied, torn from my notebooks, from unknown pads, but all carried a sense of familiarity that lingered uneasily. I discerned patterns in the notes' timing, often appearing in the tranquil moments between night and daybreak, when the world holds its breath. Sometimes, the rustling of paper would wake me, but upon investigation, only silence greeted me along with a new message awaiting discovery. As my awareness grew, the house seemed to respond. Room temperatures fluctuated, mirrors held reflections for a fraction too long, creating the illusion of a presence just out of sight. I found myself speaking aloud, as if expecting a reply from the empty rooms. The notes became our silent dialogue between my unseen companion and me. They bore no malice, no threat, only a sense of protective vigilance, like a guardian silently watching over me. Last night, I took a leap of faith and left a note of my own. Placed carefully on my nightstand, it read, "Who are you?" This morning, it was replaced by a new note, in that familiar handwriting. "You know who I am. You've always known." As twilight descends, elongating shadows across my floor, understanding begins to dawn on me. The handwriting, the intimate knowledge of my habits, the gentle cautions, they all hint at a truth I've been avoiding. Perhaps these notes aren't from a stranger after all. Perhaps they stem from a part of me yet to be revealed, or one I've long forgotten. The sun dips below the horizon, casting deepening shadows into my room. The house settles around me, its wooden frame murmuring softly in the encroaching darkness. Another note appears by my hand as I write, seemingly materializing out of thin air. It bears a simple message: time to remember. And now, as I sit here, ready to embrace the unknown, I feel a sense of readiness to listen. Story 42. The room was bathed in the gentle crackling of the fireplace, a symphony of warmth that wrapped around me like a cozy embrace. My fingers traced the soft fur of my companion, a loyal dog named Max, who nestled beside me with his eyes half shut in contentment. But then, a shift in the air, imperceptible yet palpable. Max stiffened, his ears perking up, his breath growing heavy. With a sudden jolt, he leaped to his feet and began to bark, his gaze fixed on a shadowed corner of the room. At first, I brushed it off as Max being Max, sensitive to every creak and whisper in the night. The rustle of a leaf against the window or the scurry of a mouse were enough to set him off. But this time, his demeanor was different. His bark held a note of uncertainty, a question lingering in the air. The flickering flames painted intricate patterns on the walls, and my gaze was drawn to that darkened corner where Max's attention remained fixed. In that corner stood an antique bookshelf, its weathered wood bearing the weight of time, rows of books standing sentry in the dust. Nothing seemed amiss, yet the chill in the air seemed to emanate from that very spot, a pocket of winter nestled within the warmth of the room. I pulled my blanket tighter around me, watching as Max tentatively approached the mysterious corner, his tail held low but not tucked in fear. And so it began, our nightly ritual. As twilight descended and I sat in my favorite armchair, Max would unfailingly turn his gaze towards that enigmatic nook. Sometimes he would simply observe, his body taut with alertness. Other times he would emit soft, inquisitive barks, as if reaching out to something beyond my senses. Gradually, subtle changes crept into our sanctuary. Books shifted in their places overnight, despite my solitary existence. The temperature fluctuated inexplicably, an unfamiliar scent lingered in the air, the musty aroma of old parchment mingling with the freshness of morning dew. My logical mind sought rational explanations. Settling of the old house, drafts seeping through unseen crevices, a vivid imagination running wild in the silence of the night. One evening, as I immersed myself in a book by lamplight, Max's warning bark pierced the stillness. Startled, I looked up to witness a peculiar sight. Dust motes danced in the air near the bookshelf, moving in defiance of natural laws, twirling in intricate patterns that almost resembled letters before dispersing into the ether. Max whimpered softly, seeking solace by my side. His demeanor was not one of fear, but of vigilance, as if standing guard while attempting to bridge the realms of the known and the unknown. I began to document these occurrences in a journal, noting the timing, the temperature shifts, and Max's varied responses. Patterns surfaced gradually, like ripples in a tranquil pond. The phenomena seemed to intensify during the waning moon or the gentle patter of rain against the windows. The books that shifted were always from the same shelf, ancient volumes of poetry and folklore steeped in the history of the house. In the liminal space between wakefulness and slumber, I sometimes glimpsed what Max perceived. The corner appeared to stretch into unseen dimensions, shadows taking on a fluidity that hinted at a hidden vitality. But each time I tried to focus my gaze directly on these spectral manifestations, they slipped away like elusive dreams. There was no sense of menace in our shared space, only a gentle curiosity that wove us together in a delicate dance of exploration. The mystery became a familiar companion, like an old, well-worn sweater that offered comfort on chilly evenings. And so as I pen these words by the flickering firelight, Max lies at my feet, his watchful eyes occasionally drifting to our enigmatic corner. The bookshelf stands sentinel, its shadows concealing enigmas that may forever elude comprehension. Yet I have come to cherish this peculiar communion with the unseen. Some mysteries, I have come to realize, are not meant to be unraveled, but to be savored, like the soft hues of twilight or the gentle caress of the breeze through ancient trees. The fire crackles on, casting its warm glow across the room. Max has succumbed to a restful slumber, though his ears twitch with residual awareness. And in the corner, where shadows deepen with the encroaching night, ancient whispers linger, a silent echo of secrets long held. Perhaps understanding is not always about seeing with the eyes, but about trusting the intangible truths that stir in the quiet interludes between heartbeats. Story 43. In the dim glow of my bedside lamp, the hallway outside remains shrouded in shadows. Nestled under my blankets, I fixate on the thin stream of light escaping beneath my bedroom door. A fleeting silhouette glides past, deliberate and unhurried. A gasp catches in my throat, no sound follows, no echo of footsteps. Summoning my resolve, I venture a glance, only to find the hallway deserted. That night marked the onset of an enigmatic companionship with the shadow. 3 weeks have since slipped by, each night veiled in its silent presence. I've grown accustomed to its gentle watch, yet the mystery remains unexplained. Within the aged embrace of my home, the wooden floors orchestrate a symphony of murmurs and sighs as the night unfolds. But the shadow moves in seamless silence, defying the nocturnal chorus. Tonight, as raindrops tap rhythmically on my window and the wind's whispers dance through the trees, I await its return. The soft radiance of my bedside lamp envelops me, casting a cozy haven that accentuates the profound darkness beyond. The mingling scents of lavender and petrichor weave a tranquil ambiance, lulling me into a familiar routine. Chamomile tea steeps, its floral essence perfuming the air as I lose myself in a book. The shadow materializes amidst the turning pages, a ghostly waltz beneath the door's threshold. Sometimes it lingers, a fleeting pause in time. Other nights, it drifts by like a whisper. What captivates me is its responsiveness to my innermost thoughts. In times of turmoil, it glides languidly, a balm for my anxieties. When peace reigns, it glides past like a leaf on an autumn breeze. Despite its enigmatic presence, I've never felt a hint of threat. Recollections of my grandmother's tales surface, of houses imbued with consciousness, absorbing the essence of those who dwell within. Perhaps this shadow is the house's silent sentinel, ensuring my safety as I straddle the realm between wakefulness and slumber. The night transforms the familiar abode, illuminating the wooden banister with a moonlit sheen and filling the silence with the grandfather clock's rhythmic ticking. The nocturnal air carries an aura of potential, laden with untold tales and whispered secrets. Tonight, a subtle shift disrupts our nightly ritual. The shadow halts in its passage beneath my door, a silent sentinel in repose. Minutes stretch, marked solely by the soft cadence of my bedside clock. It remains unmoving, a sentinel awaiting an unseen cue. Acting on impulse, I address it for the first time. "Hello," I murmur, the sound a mere ripple in the tranquil night. The shadow stirs, a fleeting acknowledgement that resonates like an age-old understanding. An inexplicable warmth envelops the room, a tender embrace devoid of physical form. The candle's flame flickers in silent response, though no breeze stirs the air. Countless paranormal tomes have crossed my path, detailing spirits and unexplained phenomena, yet none capture this ethereal connection. No chilling drafts, no foreboding presence, just the quietude of a guardian shadow. Could it be that this shadow has always lingered, unnoticed until now? Perhaps it stood vigil over past inhabitants, a silent witness to generations passing. Maybe it awaited acknowledgement, a recognition of its integral role in the house's tapestry. As it slowly fades into the pre-dawn hours, a sense of tranquility settles within me. The rain's gentle melody persists, harmonizing with the nocturnal symphony of creaks and whispers. Tomorrow and every night thereafter, I anticipate the return of my spectral companion. Unveiling the mysteries of the night has become my silent ritual, a dance with the unknown that brings solace rather than fear. In the quiet hours, I relinquish the need for explanations, embracing the shadow's silent vigil as an intrinsic part of my nightly repose. As drowsiness tugs at my consciousness, I observe the final passage of the shadow beneath my door, a tender farewell before the veil of sleep descends. In this nocturnal realm, where shadows hold sway and mysteries abound, I find respite in the company of my enigmatic guardian.